guys, welcome back to Underwires&Waiverwires, episode 6.
Week 6.
Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us again.
I'm Allie.
I'm Christine. Oh yeah. And this is Theo.
Yeah, welcome back.
We'll get the hang of this eventually.
Yeah, or never.
But
it works. Yeah, so I guess we were gonna just go right into the outcomes of this week.
We were gonna get to it.
Yeah, it was definitely a really interesting week this week.
Yes, it was.
I think there was a lot of really boring games, and then there was a lot of really, really exciting games.
Close
a lot
games.
Of close games, a lot of big gaps.
I feel like this year there's been a lot of very close games where points or
yes, where it comes down to the last 4 minutes of the game. I think so too. Yeah,
close.
There's been a lot of nail biters.
There has been. I feel like I'm still kind of having
all your games have pretty much come down to that.
A sad Packers hangover over here.
Still.
But it was a lot worse on Monday. I'm healing.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get into
that.
But no, I think that this was my favorite week so far of football.
It was. The games were really good. Really good.
Or really bad.
Or really bad. You're right. I shouldn't say
most
that. The Sunday
games
were really entertaining.
I think it was the most exciting games in a week.
Yes.
Obviously, there's always going to be one or two that's kind of a dud. But
it felt a little more normal.
Yeah, it was exciting. You didn't know which way it was going to go. And even with our predictions, we both did pretty well. You got 9. I got 11 this time.
Damn.
I mean, that's still pretty good, though, I think. If we ever do more than average, I think that's
pretty good.
Great.
Yeah, we're
but the ones that we didn't get were all the ones that, in my opinion, well, I would say that...
I did take the wild card on one.
Yeah,
Just for the hell of it. That was... Not the smartest.
Yeah. Which one was that?
The Panthers.
Yeah.
I took the Panthers over the Niners.
I think that was a little bit emotion-driven.
And I knew when I did it, it was a huge mistake.
Yeah, that game... Let me see if I got the score for that. Yeah, that was a very... they doubled their points.
Yes.
And then some.
Yes.
But that's okay. I mean, I took a risk with the Jets, and it ended up working out for me.
Yeah,
so sometimes you just take those risks and hope for the best. But the ones that we agreed on that, in my opinion, were going to be definites was our first 3 ones that we went through, the Broncos, the Packers, and the Lions.
Yes.
Yeah, and they all lost.
Yes.
Lions put up no points.
No.
The top scoring team put no points up at all. Not even a field goal. It's always surprising to me when a team can't even get a field goal.
It's so sad. I thought we were going to be improved.
I didn't watch any of that game, so I don't know. When we at some point I'll get on my phone when you're covering something else, and I'll see. I don't know if there was just a lot of turnovers and interceptions.
I didn't watch that game.
Yeah, I didn't.
I had Red Zone on.
I didn't get a lot of points from my running back or my tight end.
I had Jared Goff going.
Yeah.
That was painful.
How did he do? How many points did you get from him?
He had negative .34.
Must have been a lot of interceptions, sacks, and fumbles, maybe.
Yeah, going in,
he had a Carson Wednesday.
He had a Carson Wednesday. Coming out of the half, he was still in negatives, but I think he ended up with 6 or 7 points.
Yeah.
Not bad considering what he came out of the half at, but still very painful when your season's kind of...
Everybody's going to have that game, though, in their season where it's just, frustrating.
Yes.
But anyway, I did this time... I know normally we don't go over all individual results of the games. We just kind of sum up everything. But I thought the scores were really interesting, so I just kind of wanted to take some time and go through, just quick little, 2 minutes of each game, anything crazy. We're going to start with the Thursday night game last week, the Colts and the Broncos. Hands down the most boring game of my entire life to watch. Not a single touchdown.
That was the worst game of football I've ever seen.
I don't know who's creating this Thursday night schedule with Prime.
Can we not flex games? I guess on Thursdays and Mondays it's really hard to not to flex games because they're already there's one game.
But besides that, the Broncos have had 4 out of 5 primetime games. And why?
So
why is that?
We didn't even see a touchdown, did we?
Not in that game, not a single touchdown. Neither of these two guys. We were both, these were 2 of our quarterbacks in episode 1 that we said we were the most excited about. And they met up with each other, and probably my least favorite, I take back what I said, episode 1.
Yeah. No, I think I said a lot of bad things on episode 1 too.
Oh my goodness.
I thought the Raiders were going to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's probably not I feel it's still super early, but I feel like
early.
that fate is kind of sealed.
Yeah.
I do have this week. I will be going over divisional standings.
Nice.
So we'll figure out kind of maybe even do a prediction based on that, like who we see going in the playoffs.
Okay, that's fair.
So 12-9 that score. 60 minutes of no touchdowns.
It was so bad.
The craziest thing I think that happened that game was that Hines concussion, which was just...
Not to, like, I know you want to go over things, but, like, that to me kind of cemented what happened to Tua.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
The same.
It
looked worse, in my opinion.
It looked like he was trying to run away. I don't know if that was him just trying to get his bearings and get his balance, maybe, but it looked like the one guy was holding him back, and he was just...
Yeah,
get off me.
So uneven. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That
hard to watch.
That was crazy. I actually missed that because I was leaving. I left my house probably at, what time was that? An 8:20 game or an 8:15? What time is
Monday nights are 8:15, or that was Thursday. 8:15.
Either way, I left less than 10 minutes before the game started, and by the time I got to the bar that I'll watch Thursday night games at, I want to say they were into minute 7 of the first quarter. So I missed the first, almost 7 minutes?
Yeah.
And that's how early that happened.
Early. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Because, I was excited about it. I was like, I had Hines going because, Jonathan Taylor was out. So I thought that was, like, a really good addition to my fantasy lineup this week. And sure enough, he got 1 point. I was like, all right, this is going to be a heavy Hines day. And then the concussion happened. And
bummer, too. That was gruesome.
I think I am Brownie. I'm Brownie.
Going back on that, though, with Hines, do you think if that hadn't happened...
Yeah, I think he would have been super busy that day, real involved.
What I don't understand, then, is with the Colts not having a lot of success with Matt Ryan, before Jonathan Taylor got injured, if we were going to use Hines that much, or predicting Hines was going to get used a lot that game...
We said that last week. We were saying that.
I was thinking he wasn't... Like, that's why I didn't pick him up. Yeah, because I was like, well, they're not using the league's best running back. Why are they going to use this guy? But now it did kind of look like they had a plan. So why finally are we waking up from this...
I don't know.
...realization? And, I mean, we don't know yet if Jonathan Taylor is returning this Sunday.
Still didn't practice with an ankle, so we'll see.
But yeah, I just want to put this game in the past and probably never talk about it again. Yeah, even though there are a couple things that I
can't believe we've talked about it this long.
Well, I have another thing later that I want to bring up about this game.
Okay, that's fair.
But
Theo snoring.
It'll be interesting. Okay, so next, and we'll just do a quick sum up because I know you have a lot more to say about this. The London Packers Giants game. 27-22. They end with that crazy drama with the clock, and the safety. But that was a oh man, that game was good though. For a look,
it was a great
middle score game.
I know we'll get more into the first half. Looked very vintage Packers, and I was so excited. Yeah. And then, we all saw what happened.
Honestly, Christine, I would not be upset about that loss. I think it hurts because we went into the season not having high expectations for the Giants.
For sure.
They're proving everybody wrong.
Yeah. I still, keep saying that I'm not sure. I'm convinced that they are as good as they look.
The Giants?
Yeah.
I agree. I think they've been getting kind of lucky.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have more thoughts on that, too, that I want to bring up in a little bit.
We'll talk more about that.
Yeah.
Next, I'll have a rant.
Oh, yeah. I was saying more about the Giants.
That too.
And just the whole situation in the NFC East right now. But
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
NFC East is awesome.
Which everybody likes to say that we're the easiest division. And I don't know. 4-1 and 5-0.
The Commanders, though.
Yeah, they're not looking too good. But
yeah.
I don't know. And then we had the Lions and the Patriots. 0-29, no points. We kind of were just going over that. Oh, wait, that wasn't on this. We were talking about that before we started filming. Sorry, I was in my seat, so I just was like, oh, we already talked about that. But no,
we're always talking about stuff.
Disappointed with the Lions. No points at all.
I know. Crazy. I expected a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they going back to their old ways?
I don't think so.
I hope not.
They're on a bye this week.
They are on a bye week.
So I remember last season, I'm pretty sure we played the Lions last season too. I don't know how we would have played them though. But for some reason, I think we did end up playing the Detroit Lions as one of our like one random division games.
Yeah.
And I think we beat them. And I remember it was before their bye week, and they were no wins, whatever far
yeah,
we were into football.
Year was real ugly. For
all losses. And I remember Merrill Reese, when we were closing up the game, he was saying something about how. Well, finally for the first week ever of the season, Detroit will not have a loss. And I was like, oh, he's really confident they're gonna win. And then right after, he's like, because it's their bye week.
Oh, I remember that.
And then that blew up. Not him saying that, but that whole concept blew up on the internet, and it was pretty funny.
Poor
but
Lions can never catch a break.
No, maybe they just have a bad loss before their bye week.
I do think they are truly cursed.
But why would they be cursed? Why do they?
I don't know.
They don't have a brownie.
It's just so weird. They don't have a brownie.
Cass was upset because she really likes MCDC.
I do too, and I'm worried he's going to get fired. Well.
I don't think so.
I hope not. He seems like he's a good spirited dude.
I think he has shown a lot of even though they're not winning, they're putting up big points.
Yeah.
They have a lot of injuries though too. So
they do.
They're
pretty banged up.
Yeah, and a lot of key player injuries. So I'm just gonna chalk it up to that. The Patriots, though, have surprisingly been looking pretty good with Bailey Zappi in there.
Bailey Zappi is no joke.
No, not at all. I kind of feel...
I feel like we caught a lot of flack on that game last week. Everybody's like, oh, this was the third-string quarterback, and how are the Packers looking this bad against the third-string guy? But he doesn't look bad.
No, it's crazy. He's taking command of that field.
Good for this kid.
Yeah, 29 points for the Patriots. I didn't even see any clips of that game, to be honest. So I don't really know if it was exciting or not. I'm sure if you're a Patriots fan, it probably was.
Yeah.
Then we had the Chargers and the Browns. That was a close game. So now we're finally getting into our games that were pretty intense.
Exciting.
30-28. And I feel like, I don't remember because I was watching Red Zone for the 1 o'clock games.
Me too.
Weren't the Chargers up by a significant lead and then the Browns started coming back? Or I could be thinking of another game.
Don't know. I honestly can't say.
It could have also been a back and forth. But I just remember a lot going down in that game. A lot of calls getting pulled back with the touchdowns. I think I saw 2 of them on the Chargers end. And then I don't remember if they resulted in a touchdown or not. That was an intense game.
Yeah.
It kept popping up on Red Zone, so it was pretty intense. That was a good one. Then we had the Texans and the Jags. Probably the second most boring game of the season.
Was there a touchdown in that game?
There was one touchdown.
Was it towards the end though?
I think so because it was 6-6 for a really long time. 2 field goals for each team.
Yeah, it was. That was a snoozer.
Yeah, interesting stats on that game. So Davis Mills only threw 140 yards. He got the the Texans got the touchdown, the only touchdown of the game. He had no interceptions. Trevor Lawrence, however, threw 286 yards, had 2 interceptions.
2 interceptions, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We'll get more into that too. I'm curious your thoughts on the Jags and what's happening with them.
Yeah.
Again, super boring game, 13-6. Texans got their first win finally. Then we had so now there's no teams without at least one win, which is about time. Then we had the Falcons and the Bucks. I feel like that game just had a little bit of a drama in it.
It did.
What's with the Bucks always having drama in their games?
I don't know. We can get into that as well. But yes, that game got a lot closer than I anticipated it to be.
Yeah, it looked like it was.
Blowout.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
It started out that way. Bucks were up right away. Yeah. Got another touchdown.
Yeah, you're like, this is gonna be like. Bucks
I was playing against Tom Brady too in my league, and I'm like, here we go. Yeah. And he ended up not doing. Not as well in fantasy.
But he did decent. Right. I think it was 16 points or 17 points maybe.
For me, against him, I think it was 17.
Yeah, something around that.
Not enough to win, though. I won my matchup last week. Came down to Patrick Mahomes.
Just bragging.
Well, you got your one with Davante Adams in it.
I won. That's a whole nother thing we got to talk about.
Yeah, there's so much to talk about this week. So many. There was, I don't know if it was something in the air or what, but there was just a lot going on the field this weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said the score. That was 15-21, so came back pretty close. Whew. Then we had the Steelers and the Bills. Hot damn. That was 3-38.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing about that game is I think I was also playing against Singletary, and I saw the score of that game, but he did not have a lot of fantasy points, so not a lot of involvement.
Do you remember when we were doing our predictions last week? I was like, part of me just wants to take the Steelers.
Good thing he didn't.
Oh my god. That would have just been the most, boneheaded move ever.
Ugh.
Glad I didn't. But I did. I wanted to go with, a wild card last week, and I did, and that did not pan out.
Well.
As we know.
Yeah. Speaking of wild card, then we had the Dolphins and the Jets. That game was really exciting to watch. That was a good
game. You watched most of that game.
I watched the entire game.
Okay, I was still in the
I had to watch it because I had this feeling about Zach Wilson. I was texting my friend about it too. I'm just like, I have a really good feeling Zach Wilson's going to have a great day.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I feel like he's going to get picked off by the Dolphins defense. That game started out with a lot of drama. Teddy Bridgewater went down right away I thought it was a rib injury. He went down hard tackle by their rookie. I don't know what his actual position is, but if he's a corner, he's not a big dude, but right away he had a great game though. Yes. I don't even know his name. Number one, I just know his number.
Who you mean.
I haven't been really following the Jets a whole lot this season.
Yeah.
I think that was actually my first Jets game that I watched.
They put up so many points.
They looked so amazing.
They did. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous to see those guys next week.
Breece Hall. Crazy.
Finally. I have such good feelings for him moving forward.
It's funny because I think week 2 and week 3, when I was on the fence about, it must have been after week 1, week 2, after week 2, week 3. So before those games started, I was on the fence about Derrick Henry, and I'm like, I need another solid running back. So I just was checking every day, who's available, and he was always number 1. And I'm like, the Jets, I don't know if I want to go with the running back. I heard a lot of the other podcasts that I had watched in the preseason were kind of hyping him up as, a good snag that, a lot of people wouldn't expect. He had such a great game.
He did.
It was fun watching him play.
But I explained to you, I had my frustrations where he would get in the end zone or get so close to the end zone and then couldn't quite get the touchdown or got called back or something. And then they would give it to someone else to run the ball. And then I was like, no, just give this man the ball. Let him eat.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated.
He did so good.
But he finally got that touchdown towards the end of the game. And
they looked like two completely different teams on the field. There was that whole moment with what's his name, Thomas, the third string quarterback for the Dolphins.
Oh yeah,
Thompson.
When he got Dolphins fans really like that guy too.
They do.
They're very excited about him.
They do,
as well.
and this is a side note thing, but did you watch any of that game see any highlights?
Seriously just watched Red Zone all day.
So
the Packers game.
It was kind of funny. But I guess it had to be the second or third play that he was in there. I don't know. My memory's kind of condensing everything, so it could have been a little bit later in the game.
Are starting to. What's happening?
But he got tackled, I think, or tripped. I don't know what happened, but he lost all his play cards.
Oh,
and I'm like, this guy has
not.
Yeah, he's a rookie. He's not been out on the field this whole regular season, and he just kind of had to improvise. And I mean, they were 3-0. So
for the Dolphins,
it was a mess in the first. The whole game was a mess.
With the circumstances, the Dolphins held up decently.
Yeah. They've
been through it, man. They've been going through it.
They have. Ever since the offseason.
Yeah, really, it's just been a dramatic year.
But, super exciting game. Then we had the Bears-Vikings. That game got pretty exciting because it was almost, again, the Vikings have it in the bag. Bears put up a good fight in the end.
The Bears were so close.
They were.
They were so close.
22-29, touchdown away. I don't really know how that game ended, but they did put up a good fight.
They did.
So that gives me a little bit more hope for the Thursday night game tonight about maybe some excitement.
Well, we can say one thing. It'll at least be definitely more exciting than last week's.
We can't say that, though.
But really? That was the bottom of the barrel.
I hope it doesn't get any worse than that.
Yeah, me too. Can you imagine? Just cancel Thursday Night Football at that point.
Seriously. Titans and Washington, 21-17. Actually, I did not realize how close that game got, too.
A lot of them were
Maybe this Thursday will be a good game.
I hope so.
Derrick Henry did really well. Him and Patrick Mahomes were the only two people on my fantasy team to score double-digit points. Everybody else
under 10. You had a Christine week, and I had an Allie week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still pulled out the win, though, thank goodness.
Hell yeah. Good job, friend.
And then we had the Seahawks and the Saints, 32-39. That was also a really close game.
Yes, it was.
Very high-scoring close game as well. Almost 40 points for the Saints. Then we had the 49ers and the Panthers. I didn't watch any of that game.
I did not either.
The score was 37-15.
Oh my god. Not even close.
Are we surprised, though, with the Panthers?
No. But I did have a moment of believing. Like, I think when the game started...
Happen? Oh, okay.
No, because I was, like... I had to go out on Sunday night, so I didn't really get to, like, watch the end of the 4:25 game slot. Yeah, I felt like the beginning of that game kind of went decent, and I was like, oh, the Panthers got this, and then... Maybe it was, like, only, like, the first minute or something of that game that went decent. I don't know. I was listening to it while I was getting ready.
Yeah,
I had hope.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see any of that because I was out watching the Eagles game. So they never once showed any side clip highlights of that game. Just obviously the Cowboys and the Rams game. They would sometimes go over when we're on a timeout or something. But then we have the Eagles and the Cardinals, 20-17. Came down to that missed field goal.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because previously, before that happened, they were showing that guy. That's not their starting kicker, is it?
Who?
I don't even know who it was.
The Panthers kicker?
No, the Cardinals. I'm on to the Eagles.
The Cardinals, sorry. Where was I? I was focused on Theo. No. Because Prater's injured.
Okay, so they showed
him... So it is their backup kicker.
They showed him warming up.
That's right.
And he kept missing every single...
And that came down to the kick. That game came down to the kick.
Yeah,
and he pulled it off.
He did not.
I thought he pulled it off.
No, then we won because he didn't pull it off.
Oh, that's right. That was your game, duh. Christine.
Well, we had our backup kicker in too. We had our backup kicker in Dickers.
What game am I thinking of?
What do you mean? It came down to a field goal and they got the Bengals-Ravens game.
Okay.
Came down to a field goal
what I was
with
thinking of.
Tucker. What's his name?
Justin Tucker.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
That game was so
That's
good.
probably the best kicker. I love Justin Tucker.
But no, our game came down to a field goal.
Yes.
So we got
right.
And I think they were...
I didn't get to watch that game either. I'm sorry, Allie. That's right.
In the moment...
The last kick kind of just went weird.
But all his warm-up kicks went like that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was watching, like, Good Morning
Football. And it's a
Football
dome,
or something.
so it's not wind. I don't know what it was.
He just had an off day. Thankfully,
yes.
Thankfully.
But, so, when I was watching that game, in the moment, I was like, this is a bad game. We're playing so badly. But then when I was rewatching some of the highlights and some of the key points from that game, I was like, no, I think that actually was a really good game.
Yeah.
It was
Shouldn't get down at all.
The Cardinals definitely showed up. Probably their best performance so far, even though they lost. But consistently throughout the game, their best performance.
Okay. I was going to ask you that. Like, did you feel like they were more, like, dominating in the second half of that? Because I know that's kind of what's going on with them this year. Like, the first half of the game.
They made that stat. I think we came out hot in the first quarter, and then kind of gradually, in my opinion, at that time was like, we're starting to go down. But I think the Cardinals were just matching up to our level.
Yeah, it's
but
awesome.
Earlier on than the second half. But then we kind of had a second wind in later half of the game.
Yeah. Too close for comfort, though. I remember, like, you were texting me, and I just kept seeing you text me, like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're so nervous.
I don't remember what those were about, but there was a lot of
I couldn't watch it.
A lot of missed opportunities on that game. I'm going to go into my theories behind some of the stuff that went down in that game on both teams. We talked about it a little bit at work, but I'll go into it a little bit more.
Sounds good.
So yeah, thank God the Eagles won.
Yeah.
Still 5-0. And then
awesome.
Yeah, so 20-17 again, came down to a missed field goal in the last seconds of the game. Very, very exciting game. The Cowboys and the Rams, I only saw, I did see some cool, like, clips as a sports fan, not as a Cowboys fan, but did the Cowboys get the interception and they ran it in for a touchdown?
Another one I couldn't watch.
Oh. There was a lot of I feel like this game was really good in the first half, and then, 22-10, that's still not a bad game. No. Cowboys have a very strong defense. Rams have been a little wishy-washy.
The Cowboys have probably surprised me the most of any team this season.
Oh, I would say the Giants.
Giants too, but like I said to you earlier, I'm still not convinced they are what the record shows.
Yeah, the Cowboys though,
But still, the Cowboys too, like, it's I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. Then we had the Bengals-Ravens game 17-19. That's the one that came down to the kick.
That's the Justin
And
Tucker
it was a
kick.
far kick. I think it was 43 yards.
Yeah. He holds the record, though. Justin Tucker.
Is it him? I thought it was the guy on the Cardinals that kicked the 65, 66-yard field goal.
Tucker.
Last season? It was last season? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because
that guy is so damn good. And he's so interesting. He's an opera singer, too.
I have heard that fact before.
Yeah. Justin Tucker, cool guy.
I wonder, we gotta find a clip of that.
Yippee-ki-yay, Justin Tucker.
I like that. Yeah, I was happy with either outcome of that game. So for it to be a close game like that, I was just kind of like it was written so well.
I know.
It was a very good game. We had both said that was our most looked forward to game of the week, and it definitely was. That and this Raiders-Chiefs game.
That was a very good game.
Yes.
Minus all the drama aside, too.
And all the flags.
All the flags and the roughing the passer calls.
Yeah. But
that was a good game.
29-30. I mean, it doesn't get any closer than that. High scoring, 1-point game.
For us, so much of that game determined our fantasy outcomes for the week too.
Maybe that's why it was so exciting.
It was extra exciting.
Yeah. So I went into that game needing 20 points from Mahomes.
Yes.
To win.
You were so stressed.
Oh my gosh. And I remember.
I was just like, Allie, it's gonna be fine.
I have this whole thought process superstition that if I don't look at my fantasy during the games, then it's
gonna be okay.
It's gonna be good. But if I keep checking it, I'm just giving myself worse luck.
I couldn't function.
It's not true because I am always peeking at what's going on. And so I remember at halftime being like, if Mahomes has over 10 points, I'm looking pretty good. He had 9.9. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm close to being good.
Fine.
And then he just had a blowout second half.
Yes. Him
and Travis Kelce. He ended up getting 30 points, so I won by 10 points.
They're the best duo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Stupid. There was some crazy stat with Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to have to look up that George told me about this week.
Well, I think what makes them a crazy duo is the fact that they've been a crazy duo for so long and people still have not figured out a way to stop them. Because even when we were watching the Raiders game, the commentators were saying
I felt
he's got all the coverage and everybody's focusing on Travis Kelce.
Always looks to be able to get out of that and find the end zone.
Yeah.
It's bananas.
He has so many tricks up his sleeve, and then especially the fact that in the second half is when all those touchdowns were scored.
Right.
And normally as the game goes on, you
clean up your mistakes.
Well, I would think the Raiders defense would just
get smart too.
You'd run, Travis Kelce would run out of tricks. Right. And he didn't.
Right. You would get smart to that and you'd learn from it. But
it's crazy.
I think what it was that George told me about was because, Troy Aikman and Joe Buck were announcing that game, your favorite.
I tuned them out.
But I think with Mahomes, last touchdown of the game or whatever, he surpassed Troy Aikman's touchdowns completely.
Oh, really?
Of Troy Aikman's entire career.
How did I not?
Mahomes already surpassed that game.
Oh, they did show a stat about that.
Insane.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So that was all of our games. And the results of the games. So I don't know if I went over this. I'll just go over it again.
Yeah.
I had 11 predictions. You had 9.
Twist the knife.
So now I'm up to 49 total. You're at 42. I got 4 weekly wins. You got the 2 weekly wins.
Yes. What was that look?
Nothing at all. But
I felt like you just looked so disappointed.
Also, I just want to say that. And I hope this wasn't my fault, but remember I told you that I almost wanted to go with the Giants and I just couldn't do it
because of me?
Yeah.
We're going to have to start, I feel that way too. I feel like I can't choose a team.
I won't be mad at you unless you pick the Cowboys for this.
I don't think I want to anyway.
Okay. That would be the only one that would hurt my feelings, but I still would get over it.
If you chose the Vikings over me, but it's okay because I chose the Vikings over me that one time.
I don't think I will because the next time you guys play the Vikings is in Green Bay, and I think it's going to be a much different story. And I was really confident that you guys were going to beat them in week 1. But onto that, do you want to go first into your thoughts on your game on Sunday, your London game? There was a lot of good things about that game, though.
The first half looked so good, and Rodgers looked so vintage Rodgers form, where he was really throwing a lot of passes, spreading out the ball a lot.
You guys were getting the job done.
Big Dog got a touchdown, which I have been waiting forever to get a big dog touchdown. That was so cool. But then
for the people who don't know who Big Dog is.
Big Dog Mercedes Lewis.
Okay.
He's our tight end.
I didn't know who
one of
that
our
was.
tight ends. He's probably like our tight end too, or Tunyon is like our tight end one. But I don't know. What do I say about that? It was so devastating. And I the first half I was like, this Packers team looks so good today. I was at halftime making breakfast, like dancing around the kitchen, like this win's in the bag, and then we come back from the half and just completely implode.
So
and the throws weren't accurate, and you have a theory on that.
Yeah.
But I also I don't agree with your theory on that.
Okay, so I've revised my theory a little bit. My theory on this Packers offense is that I think, and I still kind of believe this, that Aaron Rodgers is missing these passes on purpose. Because they are not even close. They are not even close. And my whole thought on it is that I don't know if that's the way the route should have been ran. And he's proving a point because he made that comment about that the new rookies need to adjust to him. He doesn't need to adjust to them. He said that. That came out of his mouth. That's not something that was typed up.
It's lovely.
You know what I mean? And he does have that kind of mentality.
He does.
And I agree that, yes, he's in a teaching way. They should follow his lead. I don't think that an adjustment thing is the right word for it,
right,
though.
Okay, fair.
Everybody needs to make adjustments. But trusting Aaron Rodgers and, running the route, if that's what's going on the field, they need to get over that.
Yes.
And then, so I would say that I might be 50% right on that. That he 50% on purpose is missing these passes to prove a point to his people on the field.
I don't think he would, miss throws to prove a point, though. I think the man wants to win. My theory is that he knows that our wide receivers aren't where they're supposed to be, the rookie wide receivers.
Right.
So he's underthrowing or overthrowing so he doesn't get intercepted or picked off to pad stats.
So a trust issue.
It's a trust issue.
So we're kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
So I think that's more 90% what's going on.
And I think these rookies aren't getting to where they need to be in the specific time, but also, are we asking too much already?
No.
They're rookies. This is their...
What do you mean are you asking too much?
From these young wide receivers.
No, because look at the rookies. Look at Davante Smith.
Yeah.
Devontae Smith is very rarely off the mark.
Yeah.
And if he is, it's usually a coverage thing.
But also, my frustration this week was...
And with a rookie quarterback throwing to him as well.
That's true. My frustration, though, was mainly, why did we not run the ball?
I don't understand that either.
Third down, 3rd and 2? Why did we throw that ball?
In the end, or in the red zone.
That was easy. Especially, after, Aaron Jones, that man is so reliable.
I think you guys need to find a new strategy. This hidden... when you're going for it on short yardage in the end zone, where you just have this play that you don't use anywhere else on the field but in the red zone, where everybody just shoves people through. We've done that before.
Yeah, right. And I've seen it with
I don't know why you guys... I've never seen that you guys always just try to make a window.
Yes.
But I think that's when the Giants kept stopping your run game, though.
Yes,
the times you did run. Even Aaron Jones wasn't... He did get a few really good ones.
He had a guarantee... I think every carry he had a guaranteed at least 2 yards.
But even on the 3rd down, just give it a try.
Absolutely.
You could have maybe even gained a yard and then just pushed through. But to have 2 batted down passes...
That play call was just bananas to me. I was... Who's calling that play? And then a lot of people are blaming, our defensive coordinator, and they're calling for him to be fired and all this stuff. I mean, obviously, Packer fans overreact. Even Rodgers said it yesterday on McAfee, we're just used to greatness in our franchise, and, as soon as we lose a game or we look mediocre, people just start freaking out.
Yeah, I guess they're not used to that.
No, and it sounds kind of
But what is going on with the defense? Because you guys start out really strong, and then in the second half, you guys just look gassed.
I don't know. And they did. They looked so gassed.
Every game.
However, they were out there for a long time in the second half. I think we barely, possessed the ball in the second half of that game. And the drives were really long. They were 9-minute drives with the Giants. So, of course, our defense was exhausted.
Yeah.
But still, you gotta, then our offense has to, when we get that ball back, hopefully we can make something happen so we give our defense a break, before they gotta take the field again.
My other thing is you guys did not look prepared for Saquon Barkley at all.
No! Which, that blows my mind too, because like, what's the thought process here? Like, they're pretty banged up too, the Giants. Like, a lot of their wide receivers.
Yeah, remember they had a lot
How
of
is
injuries.
this rocket science? They're gonna pass the ball to Saquon or hand off the ball to Saquon, and he's gonna run it the whole entire game. How did you not prepare for that? Game. I mean, granted, the guy's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And he's just an insane running back, so he's hard to protect, But, Packers.
Yeah. I feel like there was more things that I was going to say about that game.
And that Hail Mary at the end, like, that would have been cool if that had worked out. The end of that game was crazy, too. Like, I feel kind of bad because I saw, like, that they all took a knee. So I went and took Theo out on a walk because it was going to downpour here. And my dog doesn't poop when it's raining outside because he's bougie. So I was like, I got to get this boy out. And then I came back inside soaked because we got caught in the rain, and then I saw the game was still going on.
Yeah, there was.
And I never do that. I'm not like the person that's going to leave before a game's over, but I saw them take a knee, so I was like, okay, this game's over. And I was so sad and frustrated at that point.
So, I was surprised when I saw them taking a knee at first because I thought when there's still over a minute and a half or something, whatever time was left, I was like, I think there was a minute and 40 seconds left.
Right, there was. There was a good chunk of time left.
Yeah, and I was like, I thought you have to get a first down before you do this. But I didn't realize what they were trying to do is sacrifice safety. Right. That's what I'll call it. And I don't know if that's because it had something to do, because I don't know all the rules of football, but because if they had not gotten the safety, they would have had to punt from where they were, potentially,
which would have given us better field position.
Better field position, or the risk of a block punt turning into a touchdown.
Right, exactly.
But then when they got the safety, I think you move up to where you're on the 20 or whatever.
Right.
Like when.
That's right.
Or was it a kickoff? At that point, does it turn into it? Was it a punt or was it a kickoff? I thought it was a punt.
I didn't see it. I didn't watch it again. I was like, I'll watch it again, and then I was so sad I couldn't watch that game again.
I should have looked at that before. But either way, I think they were moved up, so now they're not kicking or punting or whatever from.
There was a similar situation maybe like a week or two ago where we both had the same question. We're like, is it a punt or is it a kickoff?
Yeah.
But
and then all that drama with the clock.
Oh my gosh.
Because the clock and the play clock were not matching up, and then the seconds kept changing, and then I forget the name of the Giants' new coach. I do not like that guy at all.
Everybody really likes him.
I don't know why. He is just.
They think he's a game changer.
Well, they like him as far as their team's record, but as a man, I just don't really. Not as a man, but as a coach. As a coach, I don't really like the way he treats his team sometimes when they're in an adverse position.
Okay.
I remember in week 1 he freaked out on Daniel Jones. And I mean, I don't mind a coach who's hard on their players, but I just think he loses his cool way too much. And it just, I don't like watching him. He kept freaking out. Like, he throws temper tantrums out there, I feel like, just from the couple Giants games I've watched.
Like Belichick last week?
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't like him either because You're
not a fan of hotheads.
I don't mind a hothead. I mean, I'm a hothead. I'm a Philly fan. Come on. True. Like, I'm a hothead. But I don't like when it's taken out on other people, I guess. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know the right words to put it, but there's a difference between me at the bar freaking out at a TV and then somebody, like, who... over things that aren't a big deal. Maybe that's what it is. And I don't like the way that he coaches his team, even though it's working for them.
It's effective.
And again, I'm just seeing these moments in the high intense games where the score is getting really close. But he did something else that game where I'm just like, I don't like this guy. I don't like when they show him. He was like running after the ref or something and like just, chill. It's okay. But yeah, so there was like drama on the Giants end with the clock where it was either adding too much time and then it got corrected and then the next time it like didn't stop running.
Which I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think it was corrected properly or something. I heard something about that.
Well, then
they were given too much time, so maybe
I feel like what happened is when they fixed it, whoever did the clock, it just like ended up going back to what it was again. Yeah, and then Matt LaFleur was like calmly standing there like pointing like the clock and like, I'm not letting this game go on until we get this fixed. And it was just, I still don't understand what was going on with the clock.
I don't know.
It was just
crazy.
But
all I could say is like, if Rodgers had gotten that Hail Mary, which would have been insane because that was like 70
Who do you think he would have passed it to? Randall Cobb?
No.
Who was down there?
I don't. Well, he said something like he was trying to have enough time left on the clock, like 8 seconds before he like released the ball because like he knew he had.
I think there was only 7 seconds
throw
left.
it so insanely high for it to go so far and to give his receivers enough time to get into the end zone. You know, which
it
is
had
so
to be
cool.
somebody with speed.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Dobbs because Dobbs is like real quick. But Christian Watson's really fast too. But oh god, to trust a record like that. But that would have been sick if he had pulled that off. And you know he has in the past, but that would have been the longest one yet.
Yeah, and it would have just been a really exciting game.
It would have been so cool.
I'm waiting for this game that finally ends in a long pass. We saw it almost with the Dolphins-Ravens game where Lamar Jackson threw the one.
That is the most exciting football.
Yeah.
I just love a deep pass.
Yeah, I want to know who
days.
he was going to throw it to.
I think he was just going to release it and
see who goes.
See like how the
where the cards
the Lions
lay.
Hail Mary happened. Yeah. That was the coolest thing ever in my life.
I know it's disappointing to lose,
it is,
but I would not be disappointed in that loss. There was definitely enough mistakes that happened that if those mistakes didn't happen, it could have gone
the other way.
Yeah, resulted in a different outcome.
I think so too.
But also too, you guys kept having really poor penalty calls against you guys.
We had a few.
And I'm just like, are we just not playing football anymore? I mean, that was,
that seems to be the theme of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. Boring games and bad calls. And there was one really bad one where whoever was commentating the game was even just saying, I don't know, I still don't understand this.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I feel like I remember that.
I don't know if it was in the Raiders game and it was Troy Aikman that was saying that, or if it was, or Joe Buck, or if it was your game and it was Mark Sanchez and whoever was commentating with, but there was just one so bad and we were plays down the line and they kept going back to that and they're like, I still don't see this. I still don't see this. It was so bad.
There's been a lot of that this week.
Yeah.
A lot.
But,
yeah,
so,
I'm still riding my theory that, maybe we're just going to get hot at the right time. Why would I be upset at this team? Like,
I think you guys are going to win this week against the Jets.
I hope so. We had a 10-6 record when we won the Super Bowl, like our regular season record.
Yeah.
So
I think you guys are 3-2, so you're still a winning record.
3-2.
There's a lot of 2 and 3 teams right now.
I just hate that the Vikings are at the top of our division.
Don't worry about them.
I know.
Worry about getting that wild card spot at the least.
I worry.
I mean, the Vikings almost lost to the Bears.
I know.
That was your guys' best game.
I was like,
against the Bears.
After the Packers lost, I was like pouting on the couch. I was like this, and George was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I'm just so pissed that the Vikings are gonna win the division." And he's like, "Babe, this is so dramatic. It's week 6."
George isn't like that.
No, he used to be. Now that the turntables, like now I'm the one that gets all upset all the time and depressed and huffy and puffy. Like even when I came into work on Monday, like the first week, Ryan's like, "Are you gonna be okay today? Are you gonna be mean today?"
No, you can never be mean.
I try not to be.
Yeah, my theory still stands with the Aaron Rodgers purposely missing his passes.
Theory. I don't think
he's accurate. It's not an inaccuracy thing. It's an accuracy thing, and he's trying to prove a point. Is my theory.
We'll see.
But then also your comeback to my theory on that could be like, well, then they would just fix that at practice.
Yeah.
But maybe there's just an intimidation when you're facing the other team's defense.
Well, if the man's thumb is really injured and he's going to be struggling, maybe we'll just be running the ball a whole lot more.
I hope so. I kind of need that to happen.
Silver lining, me too.
Oh, I can't wait till we go into our fantasy matchups this week because I have a very interesting situation with my fantasy matchup this week. And
I have a very interesting situation too.
Too
many, unfortunately.
Yeah. You're a red team now.
I am a red team.
And not in the good way.
Nope.
Should we go into the Eagles game?
Yeah, talk about it.
So
I didn't get to watch it. I felt so bad, but
it was good.
I can always count on you to fill me in.
It wasn't the best performance of the Eagles. Might have been the best performance that the Cardinals have shown so far.
Did you expect a blowout?
Not a blowout,
okay.
But I did not expect it to come down to a missed field goal. I guess if you had told me that, if you had asked me what I thought the score of that game would have been, I would have said that we would have had what was it? It was 20-17. I would have thought more like 28. Like maybe another touchdown. Maybe even 31-32. Right. And then the Cardinals would have maybe had 14.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, they had 17, so that's not. They got 2 touchdowns. Or I guess, 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Am I doing that math right? Yeah, 14.
It's math. I'm not even going to try.
It had to have been 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Did we ever go for a 2-point conversion? No, because our score was... We must have had 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals. I don't know how our score ended up being 20, but, I mean, that makes sense with the math. But, I wanted more touchdowns. And I thought A.J. Brown was going to have a much better game. He was kind of flat that game. He had a really stupid dropped pass that went right to him. And, like, that could have maybe turned into something because from what I remember, and this is why I don't like doing the Thursday shows because Wednesday I feel like I'm still a little remembering things.
Yes, I know. I agree. That extra day, everything kind of...
Yeah, because I'm not going to go back on Wednesday and rewatch everything that I just watched on Sunday. But I want to say there was a dropped pass that went right to him. And he was completely open, had this open path. And I think he would have just ran down the field.
Right.
So he didn't do bad. Again, the team did not do bad at all. I mean, we won. And it wasn't a sloppy win. It was still a good win. We still had an interception. We sacked Kyler Murray once. He was really impressing me, though, with his movement. He runs so far back.
He does.
And I'm like, oh, my God, I hope we get him. And he would just manage to turn and throw. And
escapes.
I don't know. We just didn't look as fast as we normally looked in that game. But my other theory for this game, and it's something we've like kind of mentioned before. Mm-hmm. I think that Arizona has the worst quality football field.
Yes, we did talk about this. You and
I. Well, I think we even talked about it in episode 2. Yep. Yeah, with the whole Andy Reid trying to
and the ankle injuries. The Butker injury that happened there.
Exactly, and. I kind of, and I'm not just saying this as an Eagles fan making excuses for my team because I also think that maybe both of us have been kind of unimpressed with the Cardinals. And that was a playoff team last year. And I think that maybe because they practice on that field as well. And I noticed our team is really, we have a lot of agility on our team. A lot of our players can turn on a dime, and that was not happening. We have a lot of speed on our team. There was not a lot of, we were not covering very well. We were behind on things. And I think it's the quality of the field. Yes. And I think it goes for both teams.
Yes.
And I couldn't really hear the audio because I was at the bar. But there was so many moments in that game where the cameraman would just zoom in on the left, like, skid marks on the field.
On the turf, yeah.
There was a really big one with Jalen Hurts where he just, it was, I mean, almost 2 feet long, it looked like. You know what I mean? Like, it was just... The fields are bad.
Yes, there are certain fields that are notorious for that.
Yeah, and I think that played a lot into why it was a low-scoring game, maybe why the Cardinals have just been not as explosive as they...
Could be.
Well, were they explosive last year? I mean, they went undefeated for a really long time, but then... I don't know, because that kind of goes against the theory because, you know, if they were good last year, it doesn't matter. But, you know, I'm thinking in my head, they play half their games on that field, and if it's bad conditions...
We should look more into that. Because I don't know if at one point they had a practice field, and maybe something happened with that, and now they're practicing also in their stadium.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I got to look into that. But there is this, like, conversation this season, it seems like, amongst, like, quarterbacks and a lot of, like, bigger players about... like turf conditions and them rather playing on grass than turf, you know, like Rodgers even said it. He's like, I'd rather be practicing out.
That's grass at the Arizona. Yes. It's not turf.
Oh, it's not turf.
No, because they roll it out to get sunlight when they're not playing.
Well, Rodgers said he'd rather play on grass, and they rather play outside on the grass field than on like their turf practice facility and like -2.
But it needs
and a lot of teams are feeling the same way.
Yeah, and I would assume that they're wanting to play on grass fields that it's in soil because it looked like it was
like anchored, not so much rolled.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to look into.
No, they don't roll because I thought the same thing. I pictured.
Is it literally like they sodded? Like
it's on the ground and then the ground is on this platform that slides out of their stadium to get sunlight.
So that's kind of what I think the London they did with the London field too when they changed it to like the football field.
Yeah.
For us over there, or for the teams going over there.
Yeah. Someone showed me a video of it.
Yeah, that's really
cool.
That's
crazy. Whoever engineered that.
It is really cool. But that's fascinating, and we should definitely look into that more.
It's just a theory. It could have just been
it's an interesting theory you have. And it really could be.
Yeah, because I noticed it on both teams. It wasn't just us who were slipping and sliding and not turning. And the game was a very forward and backward game. It wasn't a lateral game on either team. And it was just different. We played a little different. But again, we came out with the win. Ugh, that missed field goal, thank goodness.
I hate
another side. This is not really important to football or fantasy, but it was very frustrating watching that game because I went to this bar that I always go to. It's my Eagles bar. It's my home away from home, and it was awful on Sunday. Just absolutely awful. It was. So me and Cass always sit outside at the bar because we just, again, every time we sit inside, it's bad luck. So we sit outside. I also, though, was ordering my beers from the outside bartender, and normally they don't have one, so I order them inside. So maybe that had something to do with it too. But anyway, there was a lot of just random people infesting the bar. It was an infestation.
Choice of words.
An infestation is the best way to describe it because I'm there. It's intense for me. You know, I look forward to it every week. That's where I want to go watch football when I'm watching the Birds play. And it's not like this is just some bar that people claimed as an Eagles bar. The owners are from South Philly.
Right.
And Delaware. Legitimate. They're from one or the other. And
place.
Yeah, and every time I'm in there and I meet people, they're always like, oh, where are you from? Are you from Philly? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody is always from South Jersey, Philadelphia, outside area Philly. Like me, I'm from Pottstown. And Delaware.
Yeah.
You know, and they always know where I'm from. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from Pottstown, and like they're the only people that ever know where that is, you know? And so it wasn't like that on Sunday. There was barely any people in jerseys. There was probably more people that had jerseys on that were for other teams at that bar, which was really annoying. There was this guy in a Bills jersey just causing all kinds of havoc, getting in people's faces and breaking beer bottles and just
that sucks.
People with their phones like recording everybody, and I'm like, you guys got to go somewhere else with this stuff. And so I just decided for this Sunday, because it is such an intense game, I cannot watch it at that bar.
Gotta watch it in the security of your own.
If there is going to be any night for these creatures to come out and be annoying to Eagles fans, it's going to be that Dallas
game, for sure.
Eagles game, because this is probably our biggest game of the season.
And it's prime time, which is...
Yeah, but I mean, if we lose... not only are we losing our undefeated record, we're losing our number one spot in the division because we will have a division loss and the Cowboys will be the only team without a division loss.
I'm getting nauseous just thinking about that.
It's very stressful, and I cannot be at that bar with these people that were being a pain and just disrespectful. Like, to me, it's disrespectful to go to a designated team's bar and just go there for the purpose of being annoying and being disrespectful.
Trying to instigate like a situation.
What do you want?
Rile people up.
It's just rude. It's one thing to go to just a regular sports bar where there's multiple fans and just be funny.
Right.
But to go to a place where this is, again, it's my home away from home when it comes to football. It's the closest I will get to feeling like I'm at the game.
Right.
And
or in Philly.
Well, at the game in Philly is what I meant to say. And or just in general, just being at a bar in Philly. I mean, it really takes me to this place that is like means so much to me. And then you have people coming in that don't respect that. And I know that's part of the game and that's part of being a football fan. I'm not trying to sound like a whiny baby, but there was just such a level. I mean, there's been trash talkers coming to the bar before, but they'll laugh. They'll have a laugh. It'll be for a little bit, and then when the team's winning, they're done. But the team was ahead.
Yeah.
We never were behind, I don't think, that game.
And I know you said you thought part of the issue was, you know, the fact that you guys have an undefeated record.
Yeah, the better your team does,
all walks of life,
you get the more poser fans.
Right.
Like there was all these girls with their crop top Eagles Instagram ad shirts and like looking all cute and like, you know, selfieing with all the Eagle fans behind them at the bar. And then those guys were with those girls.
Of course. Yeah.
So it was just, it's disgusting. Like, it's, go away. Go somewhere else and do that, please.
I have that.
Who told you about this
I have
place?
reservations with that, too. And I know, like, me and George have this thing where we like to watch Packer games at home for that reason. Like, I don't want all the commotion around me. I want to be able to focus on the game.
But it's fun when you have the camaraderie.
The atmosphere is so electric when you're out with, like, your people. But, like, when you have those, like, randos coming in that don't take it seriously.
They need to get a door guy for that. Oh, and the other thing that annoyed me, too, is one really cool thing about this bar is it's just a bar. They don't have a kitchen, but during halftime, they always supply free food to the people that are patrons at the bar.
That's cool.
And literally, because that game, I couldn't even eat during that. I was so stressed out. I could not even eat. So I was just standing there with my beers. Had a double fisted because there were so many people just hogging up the bar. And it was annoying too. Sorry, I know it was on one point and I'm going back to this, but so the bar, it's like horseshoe style bar, and every person sitting at the bar, not even facing the TV, they're turned around talking to the person behind them. And at one point I even was just like, let's watch the game, you guys. And nobody even heard me say that. Like, they were go talk outside. Yeah. Go away. Yeah, you guys are just, I don't know who you are. I've been going to this bar for almost 10 years. I've never seen any of you before.
Yeah.
I don't know who brought you. Yeah, I am. I'm
That's a bummer.
Protective.
I get you. I understand that. Completely.
But all these people the only people I saw eating the food was the people
who weren't stressed about the game.
Yeah, because they don't care about it. But anybody that was there, that was, because it was cute because there was a bunch of like older people there too to kind of balance it. And you could tell they were lifetime Eagle fans probably, but cool. All these people and their shenanigans, and they're just getting huge plates of food, and I was disgusted by it. So
I want to go watch a game at your bar.
Yeah, I'm happy you were supposed to come with me, and I'm so happy you didn't that game.
It wasn't the right
bad
time.
Representation of that bar.
We'll go watch a game at your bar, and then I want to visit that Packers bar down here. That
Cass wants to go to that too.
Perfect.
Wait, Slackers?
Slackers,
yeah. She wants to go to that.
Okay, deal. So we'll have to figure out what games we're going to go.
So you guys have the 1:00 game? Want to go? Oh, you're working Sunday.
I have to work
Maybe
on
next
Sunday.
week we got the bye week.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah, and remember we were thinking about maybe going to the Dolphins game.
I think we're a 1 p.m. kickoff next week too.
Yeah, but the Dolphins have the Sunday night game next week, so the tickets were just crazy expensive, and we decided not to go. But let's do it next Sunday.
Deal. It's a date.
Okay, I'll tell Cass.
We'll have to go pretty early because.
Wait, I can't. I'm working. That's the 23rd.
Yeah, I'm working. It's the 23rd. Okay, we'll figure it out.
We will.
We'll get this going.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
We'll go for at least one game.
We'll go. Maybe a Thursday night game or something.
Yeah, we got to figure out when our Thursday night games are.
So
yeah, I decided that for Sunday night I am going to watch the game with my mom.
The safety of your home and your mother.
Yeah, it seems appropriate. I know my mom is my mom. You guys think I stress out about the Eagles?
Oh my God,
my mom is crazy. She's
so superstitious.
She used to hula hoop during when we would be in the red zone because she thought that's why they would score touchdowns.
I hope I'm like that someday. I'm getting close.
My mom is just off the wall crazy when it comes to her. She's literally close. Robert De Niro in Silver Linings Playbook. That's my mom. 100% that's my mom. So I need to be there with her.
I get it. I get
in both senses. I want to be there to celebrate if we win, and I need to be there to give her a hug if we lose, because she also, my mom is friends with a lot of people who are Giants fans and Dallas Cowboys fans. Yeah. They are the worst to her when the Eagles do bad, which is frustrating because my mom is so sweet.
She is.
And she's never talk. She doesn't trash talk. She doesn't do anything. She has her little to herself celebrations. And when these people come up to her, she'll tell me, she's a regular at this bar, and has been for years. And she goes, throughout the week, a few times a week. And as soon as she hasn't even sat down, doesn't even have a beer in her hand, doesn't even have a seat, people will, even when we're doing well, they'll say something negative to her. And she takes it kind of hard. But because she's just been getting it for years, and she's just like, I don't want us to lose because I don't want to keep hearing everybody, and I don't even want to go to work.
It hurts so much more,
People
it's
need to leave my mom alone.
Wounds. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I mean, even when
she can hold her own though.
When did I saw her on Friday, and I think that was when the Phillies won their first playoff game. I don't know if the second one hadn't happened yet because I watched it the following night with my sister. And I got to the bar, and she's got friends who are Mets fans, which not yet, but the Mets were about to lose. They were 1-1, or won and about to be 1-1 because that game was on that night. And she's like, yeah, as soon as I show up, I thought everybody was going to be happy about the Phillies making it and winning, and they were just saying such mean things about the Phillies and that we're not going to win and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why would they say that to you? They just won their game.
Maybe they just want to banter with her.
They almost lost. So game 1 of the St. Louis Cardinals and the Phillies, in the bottom of the 7th inning, the Cardinals put in I think it was a DH, and first pitch home runs with someone on base. So it's a 2-run homer. And then I think that was like not quite the 7th inning. It had to have been the 6th because an inning went by and we didn't do anything. The top of the 8th, we rallied. Went through the entire lineup. The score ended up being 7-3, I think, and we won.
That's awesome.
It was so exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
So exciting. And, I just thought it was really crazy because then Saturday night comes around. I'm watching the game with my sister. We end up winning 2-0, I think, was that game? I don't remember. But we ended up winning. Cardinals didn't score at all. And then the Eagles beat the Arizona Cardinals. So Philly's just beating Cardinals
really
left
cool.
and right.
That's really cool.
It was really exciting. Yeah.
But yeah, be nice to Allie's mom.
Yeah.
You people.
Yeah, leave her alone.
She's so cute.
She is.
I love your mother
she just
so much.
She would never.
I hope my sports fanaticism gets to be that extensive.
I think it will. I think
because I'm on the path. Sports superstition is so interesting.
Yeah.
I even have that thing where now I'm like, okay, there's only certain shirts I can wear on Sundays because I wore this shirt on this week and this shirt on this week, and we lost those.
Dude, I'm so superstitious that there's been superstitions I've been doing that I haven't even told you about because I'm like, if I tell Christine, it's gonna mess up the superstition.
Don't tell me.
I will at the end of this season. I will reveal all my superstitions. That I did. That'll be our last
I like that
episode.
because I'm kind of in that moment too. Like I noticed week 1 the cheese head was facing a certain way, and then I noticed another.
Did you alter it?
Well,
it kept falling down.
I know. So now I'm like, I don't know. And then George gets mad at me. He's like, your shirt doesn't determine a whole season for a team. And I'm like, it does though!
Yeah, sometimes it does.
My shirt is everything.
I was freaking out because I always pay attention to the jerseys we're wearing.
Yes.
And not that I match the jerseys,
too.
but because I always want to wear my Hertz jersey because I was very...
That's a cool jersey.
Yeah, so the story behind the Hertz jersey, if I haven't mentioned it before, is I bought that jersey when I was on my way coming home from Chicago last year. On September 1st, the day we announced Jalen Hurts officially was our starting quarterback. As soon as I got off the plane, I don't even think I was off the plane yet. I think I was on the plane going up to the tarmac or whatever, and I bought that jersey. I was like, I support this, and I bought the Jalen Hurts jersey, and I've been wearing it to every game ever since. But I was worried because we had our white jerseys, which I don't own a white jersey, but we had our black pants on, not our green pants. I have a black jersey. I have my Nick Foles jersey. I wore it in the last episode.
That's a cool jersey.
And I have my really cool replica Westbrook jersey. And I was like, I wonder if I should have wore the Westbrook jersey to match the black pants, and I could have worn my white shorts. And I didn't, and it was too late for me to go all the way home and grab it, but I stuck with the Hertz jersey, and we still won. So I was stressing. I was like, if we lost that game, I was like, yeah, it's because I should have worn the Westbrook.
Fate definitely is on our shoulders with our shirts and our jerseys. I have a Randall Cobb jersey that I love dearly, I bought years and years ago. And then, obviously he came back to our team, so I'm like, yeah, I can wear this Randy Cobb jersey again, and then I wore it and we lost, so I haven't been able to wear it ever since.
I had that same issue with that Nick Foles jersey, but then we won the Super Bowl, and, because I got the Nick Foles jersey in his rookie year. Well, maybe it wasn't his rookie year, it was either his rookie year or his second year.
Yeah.
It was before he took over for Michael Vick. But maybe it wasn't, because he wouldn't have been starting if we still had Michael Vick. Okay, so I think it was the year he took over for Michael Vick, and he had a really crazy season where that's where all the potential was, this guy's going to be great, and so it wasn't me, it was actually this guy I was dating that got me that jersey, and then that year when I got okay, so this is another crazy story. I was dating this guy, And he bought me that jersey because Nick Foles was doing really, really well. And
I splashed
taking
myself
on
in
water.
Go on.
And
beverage issues.
I didn't. I had like a women's Westbrook jersey at the time, but I'm so tall that a women's jersey just doesn't look right on me. And I had thrown it in the dryer stupidly, and it kind of felt a little. Maybe I just was gaining weight. I don't know, but I didn't like the way it fit, and I had mentioned something to him. I wanted where the numbers are actually sewn into the jersey, not a pressed jersey.
Great.
Yeah,
those are beautiful.
And
those are legit.
Which the NFL jerseys are not like that. They're all for the Eagles at least, they're all the pressed or the stamped jerseys.
Yeah.
But when you buy the replica ones, that's when they are.
They're like the sewn.
So, but this was not a replica because it was still Nick Foles' early season, and it's like the actual, not the football jersey material, but when you're a player jersey with the holes and everything, like the mesh.
So cool.
And it has the sewn in numbers. So he gets this Nick Foles jersey for me. The day before it comes in, he breaks up with me, but still gives me the Nick Foles jersey. And I'm like, well, I'm still wearing this jersey. I mean, I love Nick Foles.
Yeah.
He did terrible that year. We end up sending him off to the Rams or wherever he went.
Wow, what a bad set of circumstances.
Yeah, I blamed myself and that jersey. I hung that jersey up in my closet for like, I don't know however many long years it was, 7-8 years, until we have Carson Wentz. We're making this Super Bowl playoff run, doing amazing. And the game before Wentz got injured against the Rams, which is ironic too, I was just like, whatever happened to Nick Foles?
Right.
And somebody was like, he's on the Eagles. And I'm like, no, he's not. We traded him years ago. And whoever I was talking to was like, no, he's back on the Eagles. You traded him, and now he's back. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't even know that. And I think we had just acquired him like maybe 3 or 4 games. So he had been on the Eagles for a couple of weeks at least, if not longer. And then that Sunday, I'm watching the Carson Wentz injury. I remember I was on my way home from work and we were winning and doing really well. And then I sat down. I went to my mom's house because she had cable, and I sat down. And as soon as I sat down, the Wentz injury happened.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like, oh no. Yeah. Oh no. We had a really strong lead. And then out comes Nick Foles. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no. This isn't happening. And he did really, really well.
That was a really
I think he had a really deep pass that game against the Rams. He was really sloppy the first drive that he was in. I think he tripped. He runs awkwardly. He's got really long legs. Just had to
get back in his groove.
Yeah, Nick Foley and Dynamite for sure. So, so he had a rough start, amazing finish to that game, and then the rest is history. So, the next week, I'm just like, everybody's, they're all like, oh, there goes our playoff chance. Like, Nick Foles sucks. And I was like, no, you guys, he's back for a reason. And I'm like, I'm going to wear the jersey. Wear the jersey, and then the rest is history.
Hell
we win the Super Bowl.
Thank God.
Nick Foley and Dynamite turns into BDN. And he's the man. He's still the man. He's still the man.
I love it. That's a cool story.
Yeah, so I bring that out for special occasions. I remember Ryan was wanting to wear that to the game. I'm like, no, you're not wearing the Nick Foles jersey. I'm sorry. That's a sacred jersey.
That is
One
a
day
sacred
I will
piece. That's
probably frame that jersey and hang it up.
You should.
Because it's just got such a...
You should try to get an autograph.
It still has beer spilled on it from when he won the Super Bowl, and everybody's freaking out.
That's so cool.
I'll never wash that jersey.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah, no, that is my most sacred item that I possess.
Really cool. So if there's a fire, that would be the item you take. Or if you had to leave.
It would have to be my Nick Foles jersey.
For a hurricane.
I should just leave it in my car.
Should. But then again, no.
My car did get flooded, so maybe I shouldn't.
Flooded, so maybe not. Very cool stories. Love it.
Superstitions, man, they make for great stories.
They do.
I decided, like I said, I'm gonna just watch the game with my mom. I haven't gotten to watch an Eagles game with her this season yet. Also, I was almost convincing her to come watch the game with me last Sunday because her boyfriend was out of town. And again, I'm really happy I did not bring her into that situation. She would have been upset.
Oh, yeah.
And if anybody had come up to my mom, I would have punched them in the face.
For sure.
Well, the guy that was causing all that riffraff, tried to come up and give me a hug when we won, and I just gave him the double bird. And I was like, you need to get the F away from me. Don't even look at me. Go over there, please. You've been pissing me off this whole day. I don't know how you're still out on this bar. Never come back.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I turned into a hothead.
So annoying. Well, you have good reason.
Anyway, so that's our games, our recaps.
Yeah.
Dallas Goedert did do
I heard.
each week, slowly getting more and more and more involved.
He's having a really good season so far.
He's got some strong legs, strong core on that guy. Boy. Yeah. Do you know, were we talking about this? There was a game, and it could have been the Texans Jags game, and which would have been crazy because I was saying that game was so boring, but there was somebody on, I want to say it was the Texans.
Okay.
And I don't know what position, if he's a running back, wide receiver, tight end, I don't know which one I left out, but it looked like every single defensive player on the team tried to bring him down. So he was touched by every defensive player and just he looked like he was like trying not to lose his shoes in quicksand. No, not doing that. He's holding on to the ball, but his legs are just like,
it was just like dragging everybody
and he went forever down the field, and then it happened again.
I think you said it was like the Texans. Maybe it was Dameon Pierce? Does that ring a bell?
Maybe. Did I text that to you? Did I text you? I remember texting you in the moment. You texted me about it.
You said it was I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like in my memory I remember, because do you remember if the Jags had their whites and their black pants? Was the game home or away? I think it was a home game, so they would have had their white jerseys on.
Yes, they would have if it was a home game.
It was. Mm-hmm. And the Texans had their blue, their dark blue.
So it was a Jags player.
I just remember white. No. It was a
Texans player.
The defense was all white jerseys, from what I remember. But again, I could just be doing that thing that brains do, where they autofill things that weren't relevant at the time.
My brain does that a lot.
Yeah, but whoever it was that weekend, it was in the 1:00 rounds of games, because I saw it on the Red Zone. Because it obviously wasn't in the Eagles game. I would have remembered for sure who it was. It wasn't in the Bengals-Ravens game, and it wasn't on Monday night. So it had to be in Red Zone, and it had to have been one of like the 1:00 game. So I want to say, not confidently, that it was a Texans player who just could not get taken down by literally the entire defense. Sometimes there was even like 3 or 4 people on him at once.
That's cool. Now I have to go back and watch that.
It was so wild. We'll have to find a clip.
We'll have to find it.
Yeah. But yeah, moving forward. What do you want to start with? I feel like there's 3 big topics
big topics of discussion we could have.
Yeah, and then 4. Well,
Well, we definitely have fantasy problems.
Let's go into that before predictions.
Okay, fantasy.
Let's do all this drama stuff first. I was going more the route of the drama.
We can do drama.
Which one do you want to be in? Okay.
There you go.
Let's go with Carolina rebuild, because that one's probably going to be short. Deal. And then we'll
listen. I know I took the Panthers in my predictions last week, but I felt like I needed to do it because obviously if I took them, they would lose greatly, and now that they've lost greatly, they can rebuild.
Oh, okay. So
it's me. I made this happen. Yes.
Do you think it's going to help?
Not immediately. I don't think it's going to help. I think whenever a team rebuilds, it's going to take at least like 2 years to really.
When we say rebuild, because you had mentioned
they fired coach.
Yes.
First of all.
Well, when I hear the word rebuild, my brain goes to getting a bunch of young players, getting out a bunch of old players.
For sure.
I don't think that's the best way to rebuild a team.
There was talk of the Bills looking at Christian McCaffrey. Like, that kind of just, like, stressed me out so much. Like, I love the Bills, but I was like,
please don't.
Please, just don't. Because it's not going to be fun at this point. Because they're just so good.
Unless you're a Bills fan.
Oh my God, I'd be stoked. And then there was this rumor that the Packers were going to take DJ Moore. But then I realized I think he just signed, like, a massive contract extension or something with the Panthers. So I don't know if that could happen. But it would be nice because we do need help.
I don't know anything about the Panthers, to be honest. Like, I don't know how long their old coach was there. I just know that they've not been good for the last few years. So, I don't know how...
Baker doesn't look that great.
He really doesn't.
Mm-mm. And I thought, really, like, I did think
you think he might still be injured a little bit from last...
No,
was he injured last season?
He was. And then I know there's always, like, this talk of, like, how he's just kind of like a negative Nancy.
You know what I also saw? I saw like a clickbait headline about Russell Wilson also being
a negative Nancy.
just that people now on the Broncos don't really like the way he runs things.
Constantly.
Not the fans, just because wasn't there an issue with him on the Seahawks as like he just wasn't a very he doesn't listen to ideas very well, and he's just kind of controlling and bossy, maybe so going in that direction. Right. And then I thought I saw about the Broncos kind of having similar feelings.
Maybe. I don't know. You never know what really goes on. That's for sure.
Is Baker Mayfield like that also? Maybe. I could see Russell Wilson being like that.
I could see it. Maybe Baker's like that. I don't know. He had all that drama with the Browns, you know.
But I think the Browns were... Because remember that the Browns, when they finally started being a good team, they recruited all the best free agent players or whatever. Right. I don't know if they were all free agents, but they also were some of the biggest divas.
Yeah.
And now they're all on one team. So I could see...
That is true.
I could see Baker Mayfield... having issues on a team like the Browns, and then he's sleepy boy
really
today.
Snoring today.
And then the Panthers, they should not be having issues with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He's
I definitely
than Cam
had
Newton.
Higher expectations for the Panthers than what we're seeing at this point. But I don't know. Maybe they just need to get some, some people out of the building and work on some things. And I don't think it's going to go well this season. That's for sure.
Do you think they're going to get rid of a lot of their top players to make room?
I don't know.
I don't think that they're...
why would you do that?
It's too late to do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You got to keep what you have, because what are you going to do? You're going to bring in these new players without any vets at all to guide them?
I don't know.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, it's entertainment to watch going forward. See what happens with this team. But all I know is on my predictions, they probably shouldn't be taking the Panthers anymore.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Theo.
It's mowing the lawn over here.
So I think it's the rain.
I think so too.
So this was my little thing that I was gonna allude to with the Carolina Panthers rebuild. What about Indianapolis? Do we think they're going to be the next team that loses someone on the coaching staff?
There's been so much talk, I think, from even like week 3 of like getting rid of coach over there. I don't know. That team is so... I feel like they had so much potential and they're just so mediocre. Not even. Yeah. Mediocre is probably too kind of a word. They just can't get anything going. Matt Ryan, too. Oh, my God. But they're like... Honestly, nothing looks good. Like, the offense looks pretty terrible. The offensive line looks pretty terrible.
They did beat the Broncos pathetically.
Pathetically is the word.
We weren't going to talk about that game anymore.
No, we shouldn't. We shouldn't bring pain on... Continuous pain.
Yeah.
Of that game moving forward. Even the announcers were like... I think it was like a local television station, and the announcers after the game were like, "We're so sorry we made you watch that game." Did you see that? It went viral.
No. How did I not see that? We're so sorry we put you through that game. And it went to overtime, too, which was even more painful.
Should we just walk Theo now? Like, we usually don't leave
games. It was never ending. It was never going to end.
It was so cruel. It was like a cruel joke. Sorry if you're a Colts or a Broncos fan, but I feel for you. Oh, Lordy.
But, no, so, Indianapolis. What do we think? Do we think
I don't have thoughts.
We'll see BDN coming out to
That would be sick.
Why have they not done that yet?
I don't know. I said that too, and I don't know if the problem lies in Matt Ryan or it lies in like the offensive line.
I wonder
Is the offensive line terrible, and that's why he can't get anything done.
I think it's a chemistry thing. Yeah. I don't think he's connected with anybody on the team.
Matt Ryan looks so frustrated.
Yeah, but sometimes I wonder when coaches because Nick is a very good backup quarterback. And, when that game was going into no touchdowns, I don't know why they didn't just try to change it up.
Right.
And put him in that game.
Maybe have to lose at that point.
Exactly.
I mean, they did end up
winning. You know what I mean? You guys have got no touchdowns. You're playing a team that's got no touchdowns. That, to me, seems like the time to try something out because there's probably a low risk of it blowing up in your face. But sometimes I wonder if, when you're a team that's already kind of having a lot of issues like this, do you just not want to deal with all the repercussions that come from benching your starting quarterback? And
maybe. As a fan, if I was a Colts fan, I would feel so frustrated of the team being, stagnant. I'd be like, just try anything at this point. But I'm
waiting for that moment of when are we going to just put Nick Foles in?
Yeah.
But I'm always waiting for that moment. I did it last year with the Bears. So I'm like, when are they just going to put Nick Foles in? And they did, and they won a couple games with him, but then he started just kind of like falling apart a little bit. But
yeah, I wonder.
I haven't seen anything about that. Anything, even just...
I even forgot he was their backup. Because there's been like zero talk of him.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's why it's weird, because I don't know. If it was me, I would put Nick Foles in.
And like I always say, like winning cures all, so...
They're playing
I feel like
the
they
Jags.
have their blinders on again this week, but if they lose...
What if they put the Jags in against Doug Peterson and the Jags, and Nick Foles played for the Jags and played for Doug Peterson?
I like it.
Please put Nick Foles in on Sunday. Oh my God, that would be so cool.
That would be
that would make that game a little bit more exciting.
That'd be a very cool storyline.
Speaking of the Jags, what's going on with them now? They were taking off in week 2, week 3.
Maybe it was just an off week.
Did we end that little run they had going, Trevor Lawrence has not been looking on point. He had all those fumbles in our game last game.
In my opinion, I don't think he's the end-all be-all for sure. He's not consistent.
Did you watch or see that clip of him? I saw this thing when I was like just scrolling through the reels on Instagram. And it was his like hype speech before they run out the tunnel, and the caption was like, "This man couldn't even motivate me to make a sandwich." And he was just like so flat.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that.
They need to have a different
flat, so
team
flat, and you don't even look good doing it. No, I didn't see that.
I don't know.
Nor would I want to. But I don't know what's going on with the Jags. Maybe it's just an off week.
I expected a little bit more, and it wasn't an off week because when we played them too, it was just...
Yeah, but you're you.
They had a lot of opportunities.
The Eagles are a tough team to play.
I guess. But I thought the Jags had a really decent defense. And come on, they played the Texans and lost.
That's what I'm saying. But it's so interesting how something seems so predictable sometimes, and then like certain teams can't win against.
Not a single touchdown.
I know.
There were so many not single touchdowns.
At least ETN got more involved.
Yes,
my boy.
He had the best. He performed the best in that whole team.
Yeah. So that's fine with me, and that's all really I care about. In that matchup.
Because we're not really invested in the Jags. I mean, I am a little bit.
I like to support a Florida team, except for the Bucks. But
they're almost on the Panhandle, which is almost not even Florida. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the best for them because of Doug Peterson. Yeah. But
maybe they'll run it back this week.
Maybe they'll have.
They always have a lot of success against the Colts.
Yeah. Did they play the Colts already? I think
they did. They did. They played them at home.
Is that when the Colts didn't... Yeah, they didn't even score.
Mm-mm. And, like, statistically and, like, historically, they always beat the Colts at home. So this week
it is at home.
Interesting, to say the least. Yeah. I don't know. That's going to be a good one for our predictions.
Yeah. Will Nick Foles be in? Will the Jags win?
I don't know.
Will there be a touchdown? Because neither of these teams scored a touchdown last week, so...
We need more touchdowns.
Yeah.
Come on, people. This is your job.
That is the worst. That is the absolute... What do you think is worse? No touchdowns or 50,000 flags?
50,000 flags. That really...
Flags everywhere.
That really irks me.
You get a flag.
That really irks me. You know what I mean? That really twists my tits. I had to say it. It really twists my tits.
It really does. That killed me this weekend. There was a lot of penalties in your guys' game that was just so obnoxious.
And the roughing the passer. I just cannot get past the roughing the passer calls.
Yeah.
And I feel like everybody feels the same way. There is this frustration.
I mean, when it's warranted, yes, call that. But when it's like
but
there was one. It was like it was just a regular sack, and I'm like, is that the one I'm thinking? Was that in your game? Was there a roughing the passer call against you guys?
There was, but I felt like that was more warranted than the ones we had seen with Brady, and then the ones we saw in the Chiefs Raiders.
I did not see the Brady one, so go a little
Allie,
more
do
into
not
that.
look at that Brady one because you are going to be so angry, and we're going to talk about it for the next hour if you see that. So you cannot look at that.
So Tom Brady got sacked.
It was just like if this was Tom Brady. And this was... Who was the guy? What was the guy's name?
I don't know.
It was just like...
Was it like one of those like wrestler where he swings him over his body and puts him in the ground?
Yes, but not dramatically at all.
Yeah.
There was nothing, there was no extra, like, you know, like, and that affected the outcome of that game because I think that was like a 4th and 1 or a 4th and 2 for the Bucks.
And then they got a first down.
And then they got the first down and were able to win that game.
They were down when that happened?
They weren't down, but I think Atlanta had a chance to come back if they had gotten the ball back.
Yeah.
So that, when it starts affecting the outcome of games, that's so shitty.
Well, there was a personal foul call in one of the games I watched where the guy was trying to bring him down and then he just was not going down. So then, like, it was almost like that last little, like, burst of effort to tackle somebody. Like, and to me, that's clean football. And there was a flag and
I understand
there were so many.
And it really does, I think the roughing the passer thing really does come down to, like, intent, you know? Yeah. So it's kind of it's like kind of a gray area. It's really hard. There was
one that we saw in the Raiders-Chiefs game where the guy just threw the flag so late, too. Yes. And it was before the pass, like the penalty that they threw the flag for, I think it was against Travis Kelce.
Yes.
Happened before the pass was even made. And they got the touchdown, and then the guy just was like, and threw it. And it was something really, really stupid. I don't know if it was even involving, it was either a offensive pass interference with Travis Kelce, even though he was nowhere near where the ball was going, or it was something to do with his formation. But I think the formation call happened when they weren't in the red zone. It was like more down the field, but flag after flag after flag. God. It's
something's
so
gotta be
annoying.
Done with it too, with this roughing the passer thing. But it's so difficult because, like, they're saying, like, it's not really a review. Like, you can't really, like, review it. They tried that with pass interference, and that didn't really fly.
And we've talked about this. I think there needs to be a panel. So how they have people that review every touchdown
like a jury,
and all that. There needs to be people that after every single game, because this is all recorded.
Right.
They need to go through and watch all the flag calls, and if there's ones that were kind of out there
on the fence
or just not good calls,
yeah,
then they need to tally those up, and they either need to be finding the refs like they find the players, or once you have a certain amount of tallies, you get demoted.
Yeah.
Because this is getting ridiculous.
It is. Those are, and like I said, when it starts affecting the outcome of games, that's, like, you can't have that. There's no excuse.
It's ruining the sport.
It is ruining
and I understand you have certain ones like roughing the passer and this and that for your concussion, trying to...
You can't go for the legs either. You know?
Helmet to helmet. Like, I know some of these are in there for safety, but it's just also just getting crazy out of hand. But again, I'm wondering, like, especially with these roughing the passer calls, because of the whole Tua thing, they're just really, like, this is their way of...
I thought the same thing
trying to prevent teams from doing their job and sacking a quarterback. Yeah. And I don't think that's the way to go about it, because...
No. It's tough.
Yeah.
And, like, how do you teach your like...
When does this become flag football?
Yeah. How do you teach your defense to tackle properly? Because it's so blurry. Like, if what happened to Tom Brady, if that's a roughing the passer call, that looked like a legal tackle to me.
So I always thought roughing the passer was when you tackle after they release the ball.
Yeah, and there was something with
the Raiders.
The Chris Jones one.
Is that the one where he sacked him and somehow ended up with the ball?
I think that was the only roughing the passer call in history where
that was the one that they kept replaying.
Of the football.
Yeah, that was the one
when he got flagged for.
Yeah, and either Joe Buck or Troy Aikman was... I still don't get it. That was the one. That's the one.
That was the one.
That was crazy because how can you be roughing the passer when you're
it's the first time that ever
knocking
happened.
The ball out of... He knocked the ball out of his hand.
Not something... Yeah.
So it was a tackle, a blocked pass, and an interception, and it wasn't even a fumble recovery. Yeah. It went right from his hand into his
arm.
Stomach.
Yeah, remember we were like, where's the ball? Where's the ball?
And then they took that back, and it ended up not mattering for the outcome of the game.
Right.
But, I mean, maybe a lot of things wouldn't have happened if, like, maybe that Davante Adams, Renfro collision would have never happened, and Davante Adams wouldn't have been frustrated and shoved a cameraman. Like, you know what I mean? Like, There was just
That's one to talk about.
So many bad calls and just ridiculous. Yeah. You guys look like you don't know what you're doing out there. I could do a better job.
Yeah, if I was making your salary, I'd definitely be doing a better job.
And that's why I think there needs to be repercussions when they're doing a bad job because it's ruining the sport.
It is. And I know it's not an easy job. I understand that, but
you're allowed to make mistakes, but I mean,
you're a human being, and things are happening rapidly.
Every play, we're doing all this over and over and over and over again, and
this week, I can't even find it was just terrible.
Yeah,
just no excuse, refs. Those were awful. Especially the Brady one. Wait till I show you that. Your head is going to explode when you see that one.
We almost got away with no ammunition on Tom Brady.
Tom Brady this week? I know. I'm like, we really got to dial
it
back.
Wait, what was that quote that you said about Tom Brady? What he said?
Oh, yeah, when he was like asked in the press conference or whatever after that call, and they were like, how'd you feel about that roughing the passer? And he's like, well, I throw tablets, not flags.
Did it sound funny when he said it?
I don't know. I just read it.
Oh.
I wouldn't be able to watch
We got to find that too because I don't see Tom Brady having a sense of humor, but having like that awkward sense of humor where that could have been funny if it was delivered by someone else. But that is funny that he says that. I don't know.
And at least he admits to it.
Yeah,
that's good. The Davante thing.
I was looking at that. That was wild and very
All
upsetting.
I'm gonna say, as a Packer fan, they're corrupting our boy. They've corrupted our boy. He was the sweetest baby angel in Green Bay. And everybody's like, well, maybe he's just not used to losing. But he, like, when he started with the Packers as a rookie, like, he had some rough goes.
Yeah.
Never acted like that.
That was wild. And we saw a bunch of videos, like, saying that cameraman should have never been there anyway and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. As a human being, I'm sorry, but when you're at the grocery store and someone cuts you off from the aisle, you don't shove into their cart and then push them to the ground.
And trust me, like, I've had plenty of bad days at work where I've wanted to shove somebody, but I would never do that.
When you're in your car and somebody jaywalks and they shouldn't be there either, you don't just hit them with your car.
Exactly.
Like, you just respect that somebody's in your way. And I'm sorry, but because you're a football player does not mean that it's justified that you did that.
No, it's
you know what I mean? You're not better than us. If somebody saw me doing that, even if I was doing that to somebody who shouldn't be where they belong, everybody would hate me.
Yes! And I'd probably
get arrested.
Exactly.
But because he's a football player, everybody wants to defend his behavior.
Exactly. Oh, he was just heated. No. You don't
we
act
all
like
get
that.
upset. And I'm sorry, that guy was like maybe 120 pounds at the most. With a
his
tripod in his hand. I don't care if he was supposed to be. We don't even know what was happening on the other side of the field. Like somebody could have been like, so-and-so, get over here right now.
Or
and
go set the camera up
he's
over
scrambling. He's not looking that way. And that one video that we watched where the guy was saying that cameraman ran in front of him, those two were going the same exact speed. Was Davante running? No, he was not. They were going the same speed, and he had time. He even said something. You could see him stop and turn his head and like move his shoulders, which to me indicates he was probably like, get the
fuck out of my way or something.
Yeah. And you know, I don't think that was cool at all.
Right.
I don't. And
I don't either. I cannot defend him. I love Davante. He's like one of my favorite players, but I cannot defend that. Yeah. That was really a shitty thing to do.
It was, and it was just...
And he apologized. I watched the apology. It really wasn't much of an apology in my opinion. He was and he came out and said, like, the guy got in his way. No, and he said he regretted it instantly. If you regretted it instantly, you would have turned around, helped the dude up, and said, I'm sorry. Yeah. Right then and there. I don't know. He
regretted it instantly once somebody said it was caught on camera, probably.
Exactly.
Is what it was.
It's a cop-out, and now this guy, I guess it came out yesterday that Davante was charged with a assault misdemeanor. So
it is assault.
It's assault, you know?
He didn't just, like... bump into the guy and check him. He took two hands and shoved that man to the ground. Yeah. The dude went flying.
Yes, he did.
And people were saying he was acting and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't think so. When you don't expect... you gotta think, too, how strong this football player is.
And you weren't expecting it.
Yeah. That dude is buff. You know
what
I mean?
He was taken to the hospital. And I did read last night, the guy did complain of a neck injury, whiplash, and a possible concussion. Which was kind of humorous. However,
I don't think he had a concussion.
If it were me, first of all, I'd be so stoked that I got pushed by Davante Adams. I'd be like, ah. But I probably would do the same thing.
Do you push a fan when they're running up to ask for your autograph? No.
No. But I probably would do the same thing. I'd be like, my neck. Like, even if I just, like, tripped. It's Davante Adams. He pushed me, and the guy's got all the money in the world, and if you're going to inconvenience me, I'm going to inconvenience you, too.
I'd be like, get me your Taco Bell hookup.
Get me the Taco Bell hookup for life. I might buy a new car because of this. I don't know. All I'm saying is I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would sue the guy, too.
It's a bad smudge on his resume.
Yeah, it sucks. And, that guy is, like, he's one of my favorite... He was one of my favorite players. I don't like what I saw of that. Yeah. That's really a bummer. Yeah, I've never seen him act that way or be that hot-headed in Green Bay.
That was a really frustrating ending to that game.
It was, but I've never seen that before.
I did want to kind of talk about that ending to that game because I was really surprised with how it ended. I thought it was very bad coaching.
Yeah.
Again, I can't really remember.
Another bad call.
Yeah, bad clock management. Why did they use...
Oh my God, that's another... It's like a Packers situation. Why would you not run that ball?
Oh, on the fourth down?
On the fourth down.
Yeah, 4th and 1. Like, we're just going to go for it. And, like, he was way off on the pass, too.
What?
But...
What am I seeing?
So there was that, yeah. But is he the one that called that play? I don't know.
Knows.
Again, like, why not just push through the one...
You had Josh Jacobs.
Oh, so my thought on why they didn't do that was because there was not that much time left on the clock. So you do one of those shove-ins... Think about how long it takes to unscramble everybody and get everybody up. And right, so clock would have probably ran out or been... I mean, you could have maybe quickly snapped the ball and had one more second. So you still would have been making a long pass. But why did they use that timeout? They're all 3 of their timeouts.
Yeah.
But they used the timeouts immedially after the 2-minute warning, saved the one, but then used it before that play. And I'm like, if they hadn't done that, they could have ran that ball in, called timeout, let everybody get off each other, set up, have 3 downs to make something happen, pass to the like out of bound, like the sides. And they could have maybe come back and got a field goal and won that game. Because I think they were on the 50.
Yeah,
they only needed to go 20 yards. They could have easily made that happen.
Oh, my God. It was so crazy. Although I was really grateful they decided to throw the ball because I had Josh Jacobs. I was going against Josh Jacobs and I had Davante going. And it was like...
That was stressful for me, too.
Difference. And
yeah, because they kept... Josh Jacobs kept running through everybody.
Oh my God,
and I'm like, no, Christina's going against him.
I know. It was so close.
And you had Kansas City defense. So I was like, you might also be getting negative points,
too.
That
was a turd, yeah. I think they ended up with 0 points. I didn't check. All I know is I won.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at that point how you get there. But, yeah, again, I thought that was a very... bad coaching, management kind of thing that happened.
A lot of questionable stuff this week with that stuff, too.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah,
I think that if things were done differently, then they would have actually won that game. But,
I think so, too. But a good game, nonetheless.
It was a very
really
good
fun
game.
One to watch.
Oh, yeah, that was a nail-biter.
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Let's see. I had some other stuff that I thought would be interesting to talk about. We kind of went over a lot of concussions this week. Yeah. You had the Olave. Is that how you say his name?
I had Chris Olave, yeah.
That was wild,
oh my gosh.
Like, he was, like, mid-air blacked out.
Yes. And then, like, it kind of looked like he stepped back to it, but I think he was literally, like, his eggs were just scrambled. And he was, I was like, oh, good, thumbs up. But then the thumbs up just wouldn't stop.
Yeah, I was like, is he fencing?
Like, this is forever now.
Yeah, and he just kind of, like, was not looking anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was, but,
yeah.
He held on to the ball, surprisingly.
He did hold on to the ball, thank God, and they gave him the touchdown.
They did give him the touchdown.
He was very happy about. I just hope he's back this week, because I don't have anybody left.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody left on my team. I'm depleted.
Yeah, there was that Teddy Bridgewater concussion / ribs / shoulder thrown in there also.
Hot right now.
Yeah, there's a lot. The Hines concussion. There's talk that too is we saw video.
He's alive.
We saw We've been throwing out these theories. We went over her friend's theory that Tua is dead. I've been going over this theory that he's in a coma because the only thing that had been out was a verbal quotes interview that he's ready to get back out on the field. We saw the McDaniels interview yesterday. They had a live interview at 10 or 11 o'clock.
It was early.
Somewhere around there. And he was saying that day was going to be his first day at practice. And then we saw the video of somebody in his jersey. We don't know if it was him or not because there was a helmet on this man.
It was Sasquatch quality. So it's kind of like...
Yeah, it was also
fuzzy,
like if somebody had their phone in a bag and they're like, I can't be seen. Because I thought that was a thing, too, that they don't want their practice, like, you don't record. The NFL doesn't allow practices to be recorded. So why is there... Now it's okay because
maybe
it's showing...
Maybe it's a stunt double.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just, you could put anybody in that jersey
and
that helmet.
What a conspiracy we have going.
So, we'll see. Until I see his face on the screen. I'm not going to believe that he's back yet. Yeah. But supposedly, if the NFL isn't trying to pull one over on us... He was at practice yesterday passing.
All right.
So it looks like he's deciding to stick with NFL as a career choice. And hopefully he'll be okay.
I hope so too.
I would not do it. I would just...
Really? You wouldn't. I mean, that's like...
I'd move to baseball.
His whole life. That's his passion.
Man's got kids.
Tua has kids?
I think so.
I don't know anything about Tua.
I just saw a headline that was like, if you care about your kids, don't play football anymore.
No, that's I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a conversation for another day.
2 big concussions in 4 days. That's not good for your brain.
No, that's terrible. That's actually like you can have permanent brain damage.
Yeah.
If you get like 2 concussions, I think I said this before, in like a
it could affect
2 hour time frame, like you could literally be brain dead. You can kill yourself. Anyway.
That's why I'm just kind of surprised and also that like 2 weeks to me is not a lot of time. Like maybe have him just on the sidelines for a little bit. I mean, he's just passing. He's not getting tackled. He's not getting roughed or whatever, but I don't know.
Well, hopefully it was him at practice.
Yeah.
But I need more.
I don't want to be right about this.
I need a better quality video.
Yeah, I need to see him without his helmet on.
If he plays this week. Our brains are going to
He's not playing.
Okay,
there's no way. I think McDaniels, it was hard because it's hard watching his interviews, but I think he said he's definitely not playing this week. He can say it he said something, not with confidence, but he can, it's like 100% not playing this Sunday.
Well, there you go, everybody. If you want to.
Yeah. And then I think the last thing, well, there's 2 things that I wanted to talk about before we go into our fantasy. The Jets, man. I know we kind of went into that game a little bit.
I'm so scared.
No. Well, I don't know what to say. I think you guys are going to win, though.
I hope so.
I'm going with you guys winning that game.
Let's pull it together, boys.
But I will say that I feel like the Jets are an underrated team for sure. We did kind of say that, though, in one of our early episodes about the Jets possibly being a sleeper team.
Yeah. We did.
I didn't
think that so well this year.
Yeah, and it's paying off because sometimes people draft well, but you don't see those results right away. And
but now you are.
I feel like the Jets just look like they're having such a good time.
I think that is a theory to run with. Like at this point, they're like, let's just have a good time.
Let's just play football.
We didn't have very high expectations going into this. Well, maybe they did with the way they drafted, but yeah,
they have the toughest schedule.
They do.
It's just kind of
like what do you expect? Right?
Yeah.
You had very realistic expectations, maybe.
You're
and now
in a difficult division. Well, they're in second place right now with their division.
I know.
Which actually, before we go to fantasy, can I just do the quick?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
When
we're done with our last point.
Well, I can just say that when I do the divisions because it's a division thing.
Okay, you do your thing.
I do like how the Jets are playing.
I know, I do too. They're a fun team to watch too. I've enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, their games have been like movie quality.
I mean, I guess at least if anything, the Packers game doesn't pan out great for me. It'll probably be an entertaining one to watch.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah. I hope it's entertaining.
Theo feels
I hope the Packers win.
Thanks, Allie. You're a real friend. I hope the Packers win too.
But no, I am. It's going to be interesting to see how the Packers play against Aaron Rodgers and how the Jets play against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yeah.
Watch out for number 1, whoever that is on the Jets defense.
Look into that.
Yeah. He's one of their rookie picks.
Yeah. Was that Sauce Gardner?
Yes. I was going to say, I think his name has Sauce in it.
Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know he's number 1, but that makes a lot of sense.
I think it's him.
I think it is definitely him. Yeah.
I have a phone. I'll look it up while you say that. What you're.
Also, there was this joke that like Wisconsin moms should be watching out for Zach Wilson this week.
Wisconsin moms?
Yeah. Did you?
Is he
had
like
that
into
drama
Cougars?
with like what?
Wisconsin moms?
You said into Cougars.
Oh, wait.
Cougars.
Wait,
like,
you
whoa,
mean
Allie.
he's like because of their daughters or wait?
He had that whole controversy, like how he was like hooking up with his best friend's mom, and like all the text messages came out with that.
So Wisconsin moms
like,
maybe don't want to watch out for
maybe not
Zach Wilson because they could have a chance with a football player.
Maybe. So.
Or Wisconsin mom Zach Wilson is coming to town.
Yeah, watch out, Wisconsin mommies. You never know.
I did not hear about that at all.
I know. And then when he did the gritty.
It is Gardeners.
When he did the gritty, like, was that last week when he did the gritty, when he got his first touchdown?
Not on Sunday, but it was last Sunday.
Yeah.
Not last Sunday being
like,
this recent one.
Zach Wilson's going to gritty on all your moms.
I did see that, but it didn't make sense to me.
No, you know.
Like, what does that mean?
The more you know.
I also didn't know what the gritty was. Because gritty just makes me think of the Flyers mascot.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this a reference to gritty? And I don't know. It's not.
We are just not cool.
I
We're not
wonder
cool
if
people.
Gritty does the gritty. That'd be funny.
I bet you Gritty does the gritty.
But yeah, so it was him.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so I that was all the like off the wall random stuff that I was wanting to discuss. I don't know if you had anything else that stood out to you this week or twisted your tits.
Just the Packers loss definitely twisted my tits.
Yeah.
The Davante Adams thing definitely twisted my tits.
There was a lot. The Thursday game for
the
sure.
Thursday, I should have known going into this week with the start of the week
and
of that Thursday game.
we got the prediction wrong too. Like
I know the whole time I was just like, but yeah, that twisted my tits. I honestly my tits were so twisted this week by the Packers loss that I just couldn't focus on anything else. And I honestly was sad to even think about having the show today because I'm sad.
Don't be sad.
I am such a sore loser. Like even when I came to work on Monday, you like picked up on it immediately. You're like, you're just kind of not yourself today. I was so sad.
I don't like sad, Christine.
I
don't like that the Packers are making you sad either.
They control my mood so much. I don't know what to do. I can't be mature about it at all.
It's okay to wallow in your team's loss.
Maybe I just...
We all do that. That's how you know you're a real fan.
I guess.
You're like the OC for the Bills. Uh-oh. Camera down.
Sorry.
Microphone down.
Yeah, well, that was me. I'll try to be better about future losses, but I know that's not going to happen. Moving on to fantasy. Speaking of very upsetting things...
You want to go into fantasy now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, did you want to do the standings?
I was going to do the division standings.
Do the division standings, and then I'll...
Okay.
Wallow
I'll be kind of quick on this, as quick as I can be. There's kind of a lot in here. So I'm going to start with the AFC.
Okay.
AFC East, we have Bills at 4-1. They're leading the division. They do have a division loss. This is kind of exciting, too, for me. This is why I wanted the Jets to win so badly, just so this could be a thing. The Jets are now 3-2. They were in last place going into Sunday in the division. They're the only team in this division with all these like top-notch teams, the most difficult division in the NFL, the only ones without a division loss.
Wow.
I am so proud of them for that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean, they've only had one division game, but
a really big deal.
Yeah, and then they're 3-2, so now that puts them ahead of Miami, who is also 3-2 with one division loss to the Jets.
They've gone through it.
Yeah, they have. They'll get back on track though. Then we got the Patriots 2-3 with one division loss. AFC West, we have Chiefs 4-1, only team in their division without a division loss.
Chiefs looking good.
Their only loss though, shockingly, was to the Colts.
I know. See, that's why you can never really predict it.
Yeah, that might have been the Colts. Oh no, I was gonna say that might have been the only Colts only win, but they did win on Thursday. Then the Broncos are 2-3. They have a division loss. Raiders are now 1-4 with now 2 division losses. Gonna be really tough for them to get into the playoffs with that record. Yeah. 2 division losses already.
Pretty far in the hole, right?
I mean, it's still early. We're, a third of the way through the season.
I'm overreacting already, so maybe.
If they win every game, they might have a chance to make at least a wild card spot. I think the top seed in their division is definitely out of the question.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they also have I don't know, because AFC also has a lot of really good teams. Like, I could see Miami coming in as a wild card, maybe even now the Patriots as a wild card. Still the Browns or the Bengals coming in as a wild card. I don't think any wild cards from the AFC South, though, however.
AFC South is just...
Yeah.
Oof, what a turd.
Yeah, so right now the AFC South is the Titans are winning the division with a 3-2 record. No division losses from them. The Colts are 2-1. 2 division losses and 1 division tie. So I didn't realize this when I was writing this down, but all their non-wins were division games. That's crazy.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, not the ones you want to lose.
No.
The Jags are now 2-3 with 2 division losses as well. And the Texans are 1-3-1. First win was this past Sunday, which was a division win against the Jags, so that's good for them. And they don't have a division loss as well, but they do have a division tie.
Okay.
So they're not quite, they're in the middle with that.
Right, they're not out of it quite yet.
Which is surprising to me that, like, that could almost, if they win the rest of their games, which I don't think is very realistic, but if the Texans end up being in a wild card spot, I would be probably the most shocked by that.
Stranger things have happened.
Oh, for sure.
We'll see.
Stranger things have already happened.
It's crazy to start thinking about playoffs.
I think we got to start getting to that point, though. You know what I mean? Because this is from here on, your losses really do matter for some teams.
When you get into like November territory of football season, I'm like, whoa, this is getting real.
I mean, that's 2.5 weeks away. AFC North, we have the Ravens at 3-2. This is probably the most like tight division.
Close.
I put them a little bit over the South because like the South is just like the Titans and then 3 of probably the worst teams right now in the NFL.
Yes.
But I'm sorry, not the Ravens. The AFC North is like solid middle teams.
Yeah.
Minus the Steelers. I think we can say that now. The Steelers are 1-4. They haven't won a game since week 1.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
their win was a division win though. Their week 1 win against the Bengals. So they did have a division win. They do have a division loss as well though. Against the Browns. The Ravens are 3-2, no division loss. The Browns are 2-3, no division loss. And the Bengals are 2-3, only 1 division loss.
Yeah.
Wait, they only have 1 division loss? That can't be right. They lost to the Browns, I thought. They should have 2. Or, no, they lost to the Steelers and they lost to the Ravens. So they definitely... I wrote that down wrong. They either have 2 or 3 division losses. I don't know if the Bengals have played the Browns yet or not, but they definitely have at least 2 division losses. For some reason, I thought they played the Steelers, the Cowboys, the Jets. Week 4. Who did they play last week?
The Bengals? Did the Bengals play last week?
Yeah. Not last week, the week before last week. I think they won, though. And then they played the Ravens. So maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't play the Browns yet. So I think they have 2 division losses. Okay. Because whoever they played in week 4, they won. Because I remember they were finally on like a 2-game win streak. Okay. And then now on to the NFC. I'm going to save us for last. So I'll start with the NFC South. We have the Bucks at the top with 3 wins, 2 losses. No division losses. We have the Saints with 2-3. They have 2 division losses and 3 straight losses in a row. So they won.
Barely.
They won their first. Wait, they don't have 3 straight division losses. They won. Did they win on Sunday? What was I?
The Bucks?
The Saints.
The Saints.
Didn't they win?
They did win. No, wait. Did the Saints win?
I don't know.
Who did I take? I'm just over here listening.
They did because
like,
you picked the Saints.
I did pick
against Seattle, so they don't have 3 straight losses. I don't know where I was getting some of this stuff from.
We were drinking again.
You were doing my hair.
Oh yeah, okay.
So then we got. Let me just clear my throat real quick. Okay, we got the Falcons 2-3 with 2 division losses. Oof, the Panthers 1-4. Somehow no division losses though. 1 division win. They're 1 win.
Okay. Good for you.
I think that was against the Falcons. Or the Saints. It definitely wasn't the Bucks. Then we got the NFC North. The Vikings at the top, 4-1, no division losses. Then we got the Packers, 3-2, 1 division loss.
Yeah.
The Bears, 2-3, 2 division losses. And then the Lions are 1-4 with 1 division loss.
At least I'm not the Lions.
Maybe that's who I meant to write the 3 straight losses for.
Was the Lions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true either because they won in week 1.
They did.
Or no. We beat them in week 1.
Oh,
they
yeah,
won in week 2 against Washington. And then, no, they did have 3 because then
yeah, they lost
that's
the
what
Vikings.
I meant to write that for. They lost 3 straight games. NFC West, we have the 49ers who are actually looking pretty good. They're at 3-2 with no division losses. We have the Rams at 2-3 with 1 division loss. So they're still hanging in. They need to step it up though. The Cardinals are also 2-3, 1 division loss. And then we have the Seahawks at 2-3 with 2 division losses. But 2 of those losses were to record-winning teams. That's for the Cardinals. Okay, so the Cardinals, their 2 of their 3 losses were to winning record teams. Okay. To us, and then I don't remember the other one. The Chiefs. Duh.
Chiefs.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be too upset if I was a Cardinals fan. That's pretty tight though too. You have 3-2, and then your remaining 3 teams are 2-3.
I just think the expectations were different for Cardinals fans.
It's up in the air for the NFC West. It's very, very close.
There's a lot of stuff that's very.
They're probably.
I feel like we're definitely figuring more teams out at this point, but there's still a lot of questions.
I would say that's probably the most. Well, it is. They're the closest with records, even division losses.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are kind of going to have to come back from a lot, but they're doing a lot better than I thought they were going to do.
Oh, for sure. The Seahawks are one of those
Geno Smith, we never talk about him, but he's been killing it.
He's decent, yeah.
He's also under the... So many people were making him sound like a joke, and I don't know. He's kind of shutting a lot of people up.
He is.
So,
I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. And then we got the NFC East, which has the best records of everybody in the NFL, which to me is I'm proud of being in the NFC East now because everybody always jokes about how we're the easiest division. Everybody wants to be in the NFC East because they'll always be in the playoffs. Blah 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 blah. But we have the Eagles 5-0.
Hey.
No division losses. We have the Cowboys 4-1. No division losses. The Giants 4-1. 1 division loss to the 4-1 Cowboys. Then we got Washington, 1-4, 2 division losses. Haven't won since week 1 as well. Other than that, we are a pretty intimidating division now.
Yes, you
4-1. I would not expect that out of the Cowboys or the Giants.
I said that earlier.
I'm
not
impressed.
Expect that at all.
I'm
worried. My most shocking.
We have not played the Cowboys or the Giants yet. And the Giants, I'm more worried about the Giants because they always
than the Cowboys?
I know we're not going to win both our Cowboy games. I mean, I don't know that, but I'm used to that happening.
Sunday will be a good one. I'm excited. Maybe that's my most anticipated for the week.
I think if we beat the Cowboys on Sunday, that is our true test.
Yes.
That is our true test. If we beat the Cowboys on Sunday, I'm sold.
Do you think
I am sold. We are going to the playoffs for sure.
The Cowboys lose Sunday to you guys, will they start Dak following week?
If he's ready.
Do you think they would?
Unfortunately, I think if the Cowboys lose to us on Sunday, they are going to be really hard on Cooper Rush.
I think they are.
Well, we were talking about it earlier.
Right,
about he is getting no recognition on that team for how he has not lost a game.
Yeah, and putting how it's crazy that it's a discussion to put Dak back in at this point after Cooper Rush is doing so well for your team.
Yeah.
Why not just keep rolling with what's going well?
I don't know.
I get it. Dak's your number 1, and you're paying the dude a lot of money, but
winning also brings in money, though.
Right,
and
exactly.
It's just, I will feel...
The chemistry is there.
I will feel so bad if they lose and Cooper Rush gets taken out, because you're also losing to a team with a very good defense, and offensively, we're really coming together as well. It wouldn't be a loss to be, even if we lose to the Cowboys, I'm going to be annoyed, but I just said though that this is the test and I'm going to be sold blah blah if we win, but I'm going to be upset if we lose. I don't want to lose to the Cowboys.
So
I don't want them to be the turning point in our season. I'm just tired
painful.
of it. I'm tired of, like, the Cowboys just coming in and, like, always ruining the fun for me as an Eagles fan. And I don't want that to happen this year. I kind of hope that... I am so curious to see what kind of... I don't know if we're going to be running the ball. I don't know if we're going to be passing the ball. I don't know how well our defense is going to do against their offense. I don't know how well our offense is going to be against their defense. I'm probably more worried about their defense than their offense.
Maybe a better question for me to ask you would have been, if the Cowboys do pull off a win against you guys, will they roll with Cooper Rush? Because
they would be stupid if they don't.
Humongous.
They would be
that would be something to watch if that does happen.
Why would you beat
I don't know.
the undefeated team and then put in the guy that got you your only loss?
What do you guys think?
I'm curious.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Who watches us? I'm curious to know your thoughts on that. That's a good question. Well, should we get into fantasy?
Yeah, let's do it.
Did you have some questions for me? Because honestly, my whole
I've
thing
been hush-hush about my fantasy.
I know you have.
I made some adjustments on my team.
I am just depleted. I really don't have a whole lot to say other than everybody that I have on my team is injured or on IR. It's just the most unbelievable thing in the world. I have this knack for injuries this season.
Oh, well, tell them about your one team.
Oh, my gosh. So I had Cordell Patterson in that team. He's on IR. Chris Olave is concussed. Jonathan Taylor is out with the ankle injury. So then I picked up Hines, who also got a concussion. I'm definitely... Oh, Rashad Penny was on that team as well. He's out for the season now.
Is this your Derrick Henry team as well, who's on a bye week?
No, Derrick Henry's on my other team, who's on a bye week.
Yes, pause for a sec. We're getting into our bye weeks now, so just, like, make sure you're paying attention to... I mean, it tells you on the...
Right, but yeah, that's definitely... Now's the time where waiver wires
where the fun begins.
Yeah, things, it's like a puzzle. You got to drop these guys and pick up others, and... Yeah, I'm just really, really in rough shape. And then on my other team, I have Davante, who has a bye week this week, but also I think he's staring down the face of a suspension, possibly. So that's going to really kill me, too.
I feel like up until this game on Monday, he wasn't really doing much anyway. I mean, for your fantasy team, yes, it's a huge loss, but for the Raiders...
for the Raiders, whatever.
Them whining about Davante potentially getting suspended, I mean, like, you guys haven't really been passing to him anyway, and now all of a sudden you're going to be like... But, like, no,
I'm more concerned with the fantasy situation.
Yeah.
And I know I'm missing a lot of people that are hurt on my team, but those are the ones I can remember right now that...
She literally has her entire team except for maybe your quarterback.
Yeah, but I have Jared Goff.
Who's on a bye week. That's tough.
It's bad. I'm in bad shape. So I've been making a few moves here and there, but we'll see.
Any that you think are going to pay off?
No. Usually when, like, bye weeks roll around, I'm usually just kind of chalk it up to a loss regardless. Yeah. Like, I'd rather not make huge changes to my team. Like, this was always my theory in fantasy. That would, like, affect me going forward. I'd rather just take, like, the one loss, God forbid, than change a whole bunch of things. But this year I'm in such a bad situation regardless with my record and just how things have going from week to week that it is what it is at this point. Just another loss on my record. But, on the bright side of things, my rookies really did well for me this week.
Yeah, like, you had
Breece Hall going. ETN got really involved. Olave had a huge day. So that paid off. But what are your fantasy questions? I don't know if you should be asking me questions. I'm no fantasy guru this year.
So, I am in a very interesting situation in my matchup this week because I'm going against a lot of players on the Eagles.
Oh, that's always gross.
So,
I hate that feeling.
I almost just want to sacrifice because, okay, let me start from the beginning. So, I made some changes onto my team. And these all came off the waivers. I didn't make trades or anything, but I dropped Dobbs.
Okay, I don't think that's a bad move.
I think Tyler Lockett is going to just keep having a better...
Tyler Lockett's been good. And with Rashad Penny out, I mean, not that, Lockett, catches things, but... Rashad Penny being out, they might use Lockett a lot more.
Lockett had a great week last week.
He did.
Let me see what he did.
This week, too. Didn't he have a touchdown?
Oh, when I say last week, I'm meaning...
the week we're talking about.
He got 24 points against New Orleans.
Yeah.
and they still
Lockett's
lost.
a great
So
bet.
he had, let's see what his stats were. This is really hard to see. Okay, well, no, it's not because it's the bottom one. He had 104 receiving yards.
Yeah. No, he had a
2
really
touchdowns.
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
Um,
So that's good. I think dropping Dobbs was a great idea.
So my thought on that was because I picked up Dobbs from the waivers.
Okay.
And every time I like go to like, oops, sorry Theo, I poked you in the eye. Every time I go into the available players and trades and waivers and all that, Lazard is the top Green Bay receiver. And I think if anybody's paying attention to Green Bay right now, they're noticing their receiving game is not very
not a great
consistent.
situation.
So
yes.
I don't think
Lazard of all has been.
Yeah, I still though feel like what we've been saying about Dobbs, like he is going to be getting better and better and better every week. So I really needed strong wide receivers because my best running back is on a bye. And my backup running back is also on a bye, Jamal Williams. And I don't know if I might end up dropping him soon too because DeAndre Swift's going to be coming back, and I'm just going to keep him for a little bit and see what happens. But if I need to make room, he's probably going to be the first one to go for my team because I have Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I do have A.J. Dillon, but we've been talking about for whatever reason the Packers are not utilizing the run game. So,
and if, like I said earlier, if the thumb is more nagging than we're led to believe with Rodgers, maybe they'll run the ball more.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So,
something to watch.
Yeah, and so I have AJ Dillon and then my only other available running back was Antonio Gibson, who's just not really been doing much. Yeah. He did really well for me the first 2 weeks and then has just kind of not been really doing a lot. Great. Yeah. So I have him in as a running back. Normally he's in my flex spot. And I don't want to get rid of him just yet. So that was my one thing. I was like, should I get another running back? But I'm like, no, like, because I'm playing this team who has so many people on the Eagles, I'm kind of just okay with losing.
With the
because then because also, too, this guy has a few questionable people. So he has Jalen Hurts as his quarterback, who right now is predicted to do better than Patrick Mahomes. Makes sense. They're playing the Bills this week.
Right.
Which he also, though, has CeeDee Lamb as his wide receiver. So I hope you don't get CeeDee Lamb points, but if you don't, you have Davante Smith, which means Davante Smith will be getting you points. And I want that to happen.
Yeah.
I want that to happen. I want to lose because the Eagles do really well. Exactly. And I'm okay with losing. My fantasy
team wins
matchup.
Over fantasy wins every day.
I'm in a free league. I'm not losing anything.
I don't care if I have
if the Eagles lose, I'm losing dignity. Yes. So, and
I agree with you.
I'll have more gray hairs. So, so that's like my interesting situation. So, I put Dobbs up or dropped Dobbs and acquired Jacoby Myers because I feel like he's made a really good connection with Bailey Zappi. And if he's still in, then last week he had a really good week. He had 20 points.
Yeah.
He's been out for 2 weeks prior to that, though, and I don't know if it's the same reason he's questionable right now. I think it just said with a knee finally, because for a while it was not even telling me what he was questionable for. So I think he did practice. He was limited at practice, so I'm hoping that means he gets at least a few snaps. And
limited seems to be like they are practicing.
Yeah.
So
because I don't want
better than did not practice.
Yeah, I mean on my bench right now I could swap him out with the only available person I have on my bench is Judy, and I'm just over the Broncos.
I know. I picked up Boone last week because I just needed a running back, and I dropped him this week. Yeah. I'm just like, but. Just saying it, just putting it out there. Now that I dropped Boone, I'm sure I'll have an explosive week. So if you guys need some money, go pick up Boone because that's the way my life's been going lately.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we'll see. Something to watch again.
So I made the call to bench Judy, but now I'm like, if Myers doesn't play, I'm gonna have to put him in.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, and then my other move. Oh, but the whole thing with Dobbs is I wonder if I should just go back and get him back again and just not run the risk with Myers. You guys are playing the Jets. I picture.
I don't know.
I think you guys are going to be running a lot more though. I think this week is going to be a big run week.
I do too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to leave it because I want to keep my eye on this guy anyway. And then my other one, I finally,
You were keeping it from me.
I made the decision to drop Dalton Schultz. He is no longer on 36 Cadet. I could not put him in as my tight end in the week we're playing Philly. I could not do it.
Listen,
and I needed a tight end. Hawkinson is on a bye. Not only is Schultz not doing anything.
What'd you do?
I picked up the Cincinnati guy, Hayden Hurst.
Okay.
He had a really good week last week, too, against a really good team.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either, but now he's questionable with a groin.
Ugh. Tight ends and groins.
I know. Come on, you guys.
Everybody's
stretch.
Yeah.
So I hope he plays because I think that I could maybe get a few points out of this guy. I mean, last week, he had 14 points.
Yeah.
That's a lot for a tight end. And playing Baltimore.
That's huge for a tight end.
On a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Did he get a touchdown, I wonder? Let's see. He did get a touchdown. Look at that.
So he's being targeted. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm excited.
I'm gonna keep him over Dalton Schultz because I also think that he's still questionable when I let him go, and Hurst wasn't questionable when I picked him up. And
oh, I hate that though. I hate when you have to go against your team. Like I was so excited.
There's no way. I feel like that was the sign the universe was giving me to just let go and move on from Dalton Schultz.
It really could be because every week you're like, oh, Dalton Schultz situation. You always have so much anxiety with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was so excited for Breece Hall to finally have the breakout game, and now this week I'm like, I don't want you to do anything against the Packers.
He still could, but just don't beat the Packers.
Yeah, we'll see.
He could still run a lot of yards down the field, just no touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of what
happened the last week. Got really close, but...
Yeah, he was like the guy behind the scenes while someone else got all the glory.
Yeah, I was screaming at the TV like, no, give the man the touchdown. He deserves it. Two times. At least
he's a fun person to watch.
I'm so excited. He's going to get better and better.
Yeah, so that was my whole drama with my fantasy this week.
Sounds like you've got things figured out for the most part.
Yeah, and like I said, if I lose to Jalen Hurts and Davante Smith, I won't be upset.
Exactly.
I have A.J. Brown, though, too.
It's one of those things, like, whatever. Take the L for your team.
100%. I will do whatever it takes for this team to win. Just like also, I didn't tell you this either. This is not a football thing. This is a baseball thing. But at the shop, this was... I can't remember if the Braves game was a day game or not. If this happened or not. No, it couldn't have because this was on Tuesday. So I was at work and I was like all excited about the Phillies beating the Cardinals in a sweep. And then one of the guys thought I was talking about the Eagles. And he's like, oh, if the Phillies win the championship, you should shave the side of your head and put a little P in there. And I was just like, I'll do it. Because I was telling them about how you're doing my hair on Wednesday. And they're like, you should do the, when girls just shave the side of the head. And I actually once thought about doing that. And then, as so many people did it.
I hated it.
But I wear my hair with, the braids on that side anyway. So I always have it tight on the side. But, I told them if the Phillies win the World Series that I will, just not all the way back, but probably to my ear. And, it was Bacon, and he said he'll take me to a proper barber that could, do the Philly pee. Because I was like, that would actually be really, really cool.
It would be kind of cool. We could dye it red.
We could dye... Well, it would be where the hair isn't.
Oh, okay. I got you.
No, I don't want to dye it red either, yeah. We're having a hard time getting the last bit of red out of my hair.
Seriously.
But, but then how long is my hair going to take to grow back?
Dude, that takes forever.
I'm going to just have to put...
years.
That's what someone said. Yeah. That was there. But I could always put extensions in. Yeah. My hair grows really fast from being short, and then when it gets longer, it slows down. Yeah. So, that potentially might happen.
Cool.
Yeah, if the Phillies win the World Series.
Okay.
And I said to them, I was like, I'll do anything for the Phillies to win the World Series. Just like I'll do anything. Like it. I'll chop up, butcher my fantasy team if it means the Eagles will win on Sunday.
Me too.
I just want this win more badly than any other win. Oh, sorry, Theo. I elbowed you. Any other win in this...
Ever.
not ever, just in this year. But this one really, really means a lot because even if we do lose, and even if we still end up in first place down the line, and even if we still are even the number 1 seed in the NFC, people will still keep bringing this game up. Dallas fans just love to bring up stuff like this.
Yeah,
and I will promise, and if this is like what I need to do, I will promise, if the Cowboys lose to the Eagles on Sunday, I will talk about it in our podcast the following Friday, because we're doing a weird week next week. And I will never talk about it again. I promise. I will never brag about it.
Wow.
I will never, ever, ever rub it in anyone's face.
You're not really a bragger, though.
I won't even really talk about it the next time I see Tim. I'll just be like, yeah, it was exciting. And that's all I will say.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
I will not be...
You're not really a bragger, though. You're just more of a...
No.
I like to talk about my team more.
Yeah, I like historic moments on a team.
Who
and
doesn't?
Stats and stuff like that.
When you love a team so much. Can we do our predictions now?
We can. I was waiting all week to tell you about all this craziness on my fantasy team.
I'm proud of you. I think you made some really good choices and decisions. Oh no, the cap's been off this boy. He's gonna be dry. Oh yeah. Looks like we're moving on to blue this week.
Okay.
Do
you have a dark green one in there? Maybe go to dark green because blue is the Cowboys color.
You're right.
You have another black. You have 2 more black ones.
I want to try the green, though.
I did try it.
We'll go black.
Okay.
I'm ready. You're right. Blue, not so good.
So, yeah, real quick. We just briefly mentioned. So, next week, we're not going to be filming Wednesday or Thursday because we both just have, crazy stuff with work.
Yeah.
I'm going to the hockey game on Wednesday.
Yep.
And then, so we're going to do Friday afternoon. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to go through our normal predictions, and then we're also going to predict next Thursday's game as well.
Yep. Sounds
and
good.
Then, are we still going to do the bye week thing that I don't know if you remember.
We might have to. We'll see.
No, not our bye week.
Oh.
When our team has a bye week, we were going to do a side segment of get to know so-and-so. Do you still want to do that?
Because
we'll have to start promoting that this week.
Yeah, we can do that.
So we were talking about we each get one. Our team gets a bye week each season. Obviously, everybody does. But we were thinking about when it's our team's bye week, we'll do a separate segment where we'll post the question things on Instagram, or you can comment them as well, and get to know. I'm an Eagles fan, so since it's our bye week this week, I get to know Allie, and you guys can request questions or whatever if there's anything you want to know about me. Personally, not super personally, we're not going to do, craziness, but anything about Eagles, growing up as an Eagles fan, Eagles trivia or stuff like that. If there's anything you want to test my knowledge on or know about me or my favorite game or something like that.
That'd be really cool. That'd be fun. I love
what got me into football. We're just going to post that thing throughout the week on Instagram. You're going to write up all the questions so then I don't know what's asked of me. And then we'll film it, and then Sunday we'll post.
So it's organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that idea.
It'll be a separate thing.
I think that's cute. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. And then when it's your bye week, I'll have to run the Instagram page that day. And we'll get a bunch of questions for Christine.
Be exciting.
And then we'll put a link to the Instagram page just in case you guys aren't following it yet in this video.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Definitely need more fans on there.
Okay, cool.
More interactions would be great.
Yeah, we'll just be doing it throughout the week.
Let's do that.
And then we'll if there's good questions, we'll do it. If we don't get a lot of questions, then we won't do
I'll think of questions to ask.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That'd be fun.
Fun. Okay.
Maybe some personal.
Oh no, what did I do? Okay, hold on. I kind of erased something.
I erased a lot of things, but I can see it.
So I will go into just to get this out of the way. Our buys this week, we got 4 teams on bye week. We have the Lions, we got Tennessee Titans, we got the Vegas Raiders, which they kind of need a break anyway, and as well as the Texans, even though that kind of sucks for the Texans because they got this momentum of their first win, and now they got to take a bye week. Oof. But, okay, so going into it, first, tonight we have Washington against the Bears. That's okay.
At Bears?
At Bears. At Chicago, yeah. Washington. I really don't know. This could be either way. This might actually be, if this is a good, fun fact real quick, I just saw this yesterday when I was with you. Carson Wentz has been sacked 20 times.
Oh, yeah,
this season.
That was a rough one.
9 of them was against us, so we're almost responsible for half of his sacks.
That's awesome.
20 times! What is this guy thinking?
He likes big sacks.
He likes being hugged, I guess. I don't know. Give Carson Wentz a hug, Washington, and maybe it'll help them pull off this win on Thursday.
I'm going to Bears.
You're going with the Bears. We're picking our rivals.
Yes.
Are we crazy?
Ew, I hate that. But we did.
This will be a fun game to watch, I think.
I gotta put my winners on the side here. I forgot.
Or just put the
letter.
The letter if you want. Yeah, because I'll know what it's one of 2 teams. I don't think we got any double teams with the same letters.
Yeah. Okay. I can write it pretty quick on the side. What's the next one?
The next one is the Ravens at New York Giants, which I think this game will also test the New York Giants and if they're the real deal or not.
Ravens at Giants. Okay. You're right. I think so too.
No cheating.
I cheated already.
You saw what I wrote?
Yeah, I'm copying.
Okay. I went with the Ravens.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think the Giants are gonna put up a good fight.
I do too.
But I think that
the gig's up, boys.
Kind of how I assumed the Bengals were gonna put up a good fight, and they did, but the Ravens just still found a way.
Yes, to win.
Yeah, but I think the Giants are definitely gonna test the Ravens.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, that's
your game is my most anticipated, but this one's gonna be good to watch too.
Oh, my most anticipated is that Chiefs-Bills rematch.
Shit, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, cancel. You know.
I think that I'm not the most excited for I'm probably the least excited about our game.
There's a lot of anxiety going on.
Yeah, I want it to be over, but I want more time because I just want to hold on to this 5-0, this 0 loss. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to keep talking. Okay, so then we have the Jags at the Colts. Which, if they put Nick Foles in, I'm actually really excited about this game.
Okay. Ready?
I went with the Colts.
I went with the Jags. Oh, boy. We'll see what happens.
I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't think the Colts are going to let the Jags walk all over them again, though.
I do. But maybe this is the breaking point. If they do roll with Matt Ryan in this game and they do lose this game, maybe they're like, it's Nick Foles time.
Put Nick Foles in just for ratings. Put Nick Foles in.
Time.
BDN. And then we got the Patriots at the Browns. This is another interesting one.
Bailey Zappi gonna start again? I have to look at Mac Jones. What's going on with that? Oh shit!
I think he is because I thought that Daniel Jones was. I
forgot to write my winners on the side, so I wasn't copying. Okay.
I think that.
Theo's
I don't think it would only, if he got surgery, I don't think it would only be 2 weeks. But we all know Bill Belichick is hush-hush about this stuff anyway.
He's a crazy boy.
Yeah.
Ready?
I
went Pats.
Me too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're on the same page on that boy.
Yeah.
All right.
They've got a lot of momentum going for them right now. They had a big win too.
They did.
Shut out the Lions. You know what I mean?
I think they look pretty decent as well this season.
Then this is another one. We got the Bengals and the Saints. So the Saints are kind of, they just won against the Seahawks.
At the Saints?
It's at New Orleans, yeah. But I think the Bengals have finally found their groove.
I think so too.
They played so well on Sunday, despite the loss.
Yeah. The offensive line needs
I would not be surprised with either outcome of this game.
Okay. I think I'm just going to do this.
I want the Bengals.
I want the Saints.
So actually I'm going to wait till we go through our predictions and I'm going to propose to you a parlay.
She's going to propose to me?
That could help maybe cut the deficit of the 42 to 49 total points. But I'll do that at the end.
Makes me a little nervous.
You don't have to take it. Just keep that in mind. It's just something I'll throw out there.
Okay.
Okay, so then we got the Bucks at Steelers. Don't say it.
Don't say it?
The O word. I want the Bucks.
I want the Bucks too.
The forbidden word.
The forbidden. I know. I can't. I gotta stop jinxing us. So every time we think it's an easy decision, it's not.
I think the Steelers, unfortunately for Mike Tomlin, they're just things are not going well in Pittsburgh right now.
I feel so bad for them. But
They're still like all about Kenny Pickett though.
I know.
They're less hard on Pickett on that loss than they were on Trubinsky, who had actually won them a game.
I know.
It's interesting to me.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with them too.
Yeah. Then we got the 49ers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. I know what I gotta do here.
I think I know what you're going to do.
You know what I'm going to do because
you're going to go with the 49ers because you're picking up Jimmy Garoppolo for Jared Goff this week.
Yep.
I want the 49ers.
You know me so well. 49ers, Garoppolo season.
All right.
Now
we got the Jets at the Packers. Which, by the way, so I live very close to the West Palm Beach airport. I saw a Jets jet flying into the West Palm Beach airport, and I'm like, are they lost?
Maybe they'll just not show up.
That plane was not big enough to have all the players.
You're right.
On
that was the smaller Jets plane.
Yeah.
It was probably just the owner just having a lunch in West Palm Beach or something.
That's what we were thinking. We were thinking it's either the owner because we know he has a friend down here.
Yes.
And then we don't know, but we know people who know him.
Yeah.
And golf with him.
I don't really know the owner, but I know his friend.
Yes. And then my other thought was we also, South Florida, we have a bunch of New Yorkers that live down here.
Yeah.
The airport's very close to Palm Beach Island, where all these billionaires have their homes.
Would be
their vacation homes. So maybe just some rich New Yorker who's a huge Jets fan owns a private plane that's
and it is Thursday.
got the Jets
most
logos.
Teams or most people affiliated with teams head out to where the game's going to be on Thursday. So maybe he was heading out to Wisconsin. The owner.
No, it was flying in.
Oh, it was flying in?
Yeah, it was coming in for a landing.
Yeah,
I guess the picture
lunch.
I sent you doesn't really...
No, I couldn't tell. It's lunch. He's having lunch.
You think that was the owner's plane and he's coming to Palm Beach to have lunch? Well, he's gone now, so...
Maybe he's going to the golf tournament. But he would have flown...
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, maybe he flew into Miami, though. That would make more sense if he flew into Miami for that. I don't know, whatever. Maybe he couldn't land in Miami. Maybe he was too busy of a day.
Oh, but anyway, so we got the Jets and Packers.
We're getting sidetracked. Oh. Okay. Theo. I'm nervous. Who'd you go with?
Packers, of course.
I know the Packers too. Okay. You don't always have to be nice.
No, I think that you guys
I think we're gonna snap back. We can't do that.
You guys are a little bit different matchup than the Jets and the Dolphins. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. We'll see.
And maybe, the way that the Jets springboarded the Bengals into their wins, maybe the Jets will springboard the Packers into their wins.
I love that theory.
Then we got, I did not purposely write these in this order, Christine.
Oh.
We have the Vikings at the Dolphins.
Oh. Okay. Pull it together. You can handle this.
Sorry, I drew something and it did not look good, so I...
We forgot about drawing the logos. I would have had to draw the logos today. Dolphins.
Oh, Christine, come on.
I know.
4-1.
I can't do it.
4-1, Christine.
I can't do
it.
With
Thompson, who couldn't even keep his play cards in his wristband.
I can't choose the Vikings. I'd rather wear a bra.
I went with the Vikings, like a logical human being.
Whatever.
Vikings. I could be wrong though.
Didn't I take the Vikings last week?
You did, and they won against the Bears.
Well, we can't have them winning again.
Okay.
We can't. They're stupid.
I mean, crazier things have happened. We did say it. But I just, I realized, and I should have just changed the orders because I made you go with the 49ers, and then I put your game, and then I thought that maybe you were going to say, and we had the Bucks before the 49ers.
made. But...
I thought that maybe, though, you would go with the Vikings, and I was like, oh, this is going to be torture for Christine.
I should go with the Vikings, but...
We'll see what happens.
I choose not to.
And then we got the Panthers and the Rams, which I am going to say it. How crazy would it be if the Panthers beat the Rams?
Here we go.
I don't think it's going to happen, but how crazy would it be?
I know. The Rams need this, though.
Like, and I don't feel like when we jinxed the Chiefs, I felt it kind of a little bit. I got that shiver. I did not get that shiver with this. I think, though, this might be the boringest game of the week.
I think so, too, because it's kind of...
It's going to be a sloppy win. What it's going to
be ugly.
And then we got the Cardinals at the Seahawks. This one's giving me a hard time, too.
Okay.
I want...
At the Seahawks.
Yeah. I know what I want to happen. I don't know if that's what's going to happen. But I don't know what I want to go with.
I want the same thing you want to happen. Because of Daddy Carroll.
I'm going to write my answer down before
I made me uncomfortable when I said
that.
Okay.
Oh. That was weird. I went with the Seahawks.
I went Pete Carroll.
Yeah, the reason why I went with them over the Cardinals is because they've been I think they might be the new top scoring team.
They've been looking real good.
Actually, it's probably the Bills. But they're probably in second place now that the Lions put up 0 last week. And even when they lose, they've still been putting up a lot of points. Except for maybe that game against the Broncos.
I feel like this is like one of those things when you see ladies do in movies when they go outside to get a tan and they have the...
Oh, the like reflector things?
Yeah.
So your chin, I think it's so your under chin gets tan as well. Cool. So you don't look like you have this collar on. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals win.
Yeah, that's going to be a close one, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. That might be a really good game as well.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to watch.
A low-scoring, exciting game.
I hate that I have to work this Sunday. I'm so bummed.
Well, we can always on Monday, since now I'm going to work, watch condensed games.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Then we got, in my opinion, the game of the week. The Bills
Chiefs.
And the Chiefs.
This is the first time that Patrick Mahomes is considered an underdog at home in his career. Interesting stat.
I'm curious to see what you're going to say.
It's funny, like, I should have thought about this beforehand, but now I'm kind of stopped in my tracks.
I only have one thing ringing in my ear, and it's so loud, and I just think that because this came to me so quickly, I might be right.
Oh.
This one, I didn't have to even think about this.
Really? Okay. I think I got it. Are you ready?
I went with the Chiefs.
I went with the Chiefs too.
Why did you go with the Chiefs?
At home. I think there's something to be said about them playing at home for some reason, and
definitely.
I think they just came off a win, even though it's a short week.
He was doing like the squeaky snores, like when you're breathing in. Well, I guess snores are always breathing, but when it's like.
Aww. You're very cute right now. I wish the people could see this.
Yeah, I went with the Chiefs because, one, the fact that people are calling Mahomes an underdog, I don't think is going to fly.
I also was thinking
on that team
as
at
well.
all.
Yeah, that's going to really ignite the flame.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier about the Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes
connection.
Duo.
Chemistry
that they are unstoppable. Like, even when teams know to block
they can't
and cover Travis Kelce, he almost scores more touchdowns when people are it's almost like just don't pay attention to him.
Yeah, right.
I think he got every touchdown that game.
I think he did too.
They got 4.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that game.
Yeah. And then I also kind of think that like a lot, I mean, I'm one of these people that has been saying it, but I've been taking away that win kind of from the Chiefs in the playoffs. That came down to a coin flip. Mm-hmm. And now they're just going to be like, nope, we just were the better team.
Yeah.
And I think that
they got a lot to prove.
I think that this game is probably going to be farther, like on the scores, than people think. I think the Chiefs...
You don't think it's going to be as close as... Yeah, I can see
I don't think it's going to be bad. Like, I think Kansas City, I give them at least a 2-score win.
That playoff game between them was probably one of the best games of football
But remember how it started, that the Chiefs were blowing them out of the water. And then it wasn't until I think the last quarter that the Bills
really came back.
Yes.
Yeah. I gotta write my...
Yeah, so I just think that this is a completely different season now, you know what I mean? And I think that the Chiefs, even their game against Vegas, they scored those 4 touchdowns. They scored a touchdown before the half was over and a field goal, because then it was 20-10. And then they scored 3 more touchdowns.
They just look like they're improving too. Not that there's a whole lot to be improved.
Yeah, I think their trend was just like... Boop.
Yeah, they're just kind of opposite of what I thought they were going to coast this season, but...
No, their last few games have been really just also fun to watch. I loved that Tampa game that they played. That Raiders game was really good. I think the Raiders put up a really good fight. And yeah, I don't think that this game, I think there's a lot, I would say, I guess since they're considered the underdogs, I would say that a lot of people are considering the Bills. It'd be fun to see what the statistics are on who thinks the Bills are going to win versus the Chiefs, because it could be like a 70-30%. Yeah, let's do that when we're done with the video. Who do you guys think is going to win in the Bills-Chiefs game?
That'd be a fun one to see.
I just think that the Chiefs, as crazy as it sounds, have more to fight for than the Bills, because everybody's just all about the Bills.
Right. Think they're the team to beat, you know?
Yeah, and
I feel like even with Philly being undefeated, I feel like for some reason, like, Philly's doubted a lot harder than the Bills are.
Right now?
Yeah.
Against the Cowboys?
No, just in general. Like, I think people still think the Bills are the best team.
I think they would beat us if we played them.
Are you okay? Deep snore?
You gonna barf on my Phillies jersey?
It would be luckier then.
No, it wouldn't. Don't barf on Schwarber. Okay, moving on. Oh, I circled it. Then we got the Dallas Phillies game. The time has come.
I'm going
Phillies, the Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles.
I am too.
I'm still writing.
I could never say Dallas over the Eagles. Oh.
You have to write it, just in case.
I do have to write it.
Just in case. I'm sorry that I jumped the gun there, but it's really just, I gotta take the Eagles.
Go Eagles. Let's go.
Go Eagles.
Let's beat Dallas. Let's shut their fans up.
Ugh.
It's in Philly, by the way. That does matter.
And that's another big one, because this whole week, for some reason, I thought it was at Dallas, but...
I wonder how much tickets are to that game. I bet the cheapest ticket is like $300.
Yeah,
I'm going to look it up real fast, because that won't take me long to find out.
Well, then tell me the next matchup so I can think about it.
The Broncos and the Chargers. Do you really got to think about that?
No.
and then we have the next week 1, 2, if you want to kind of start thinking about that. That's the Saints and the Cardinals. That'll be the next Thursday game.
Saints and Cards.
Yeah.
It'll be cool to do this like a week ahead, just, you know, like, because usually I can base it on what happens the week before, but it's kind of fun to predict it now.
Well, and those are two teams that are kind of in this same position.
Same level, yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Did not know there was... I typed Eagles to see, like, the game, and, like, the top things were Eagles tribute bands and the Eagles themselves, and I'm like, I didn't know that there was this many Eagles tribute bands.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, let me see. So
that seems like
a lot. You were to guess, how much do you think a ticket is going for right now?
$362.
Surprisingly, you can get a ticket right now for $248. That's not that. That's less than what the cheap. Dolphins Sunday night game is going for. And that was cheaper than like the Bucks Packers started. Yeah, that was absurd. Yeah, those were so expensive, those tickets, and they held on too. And these aren't. Oh, they are in the upper level. Okay. That is affordable.
Maybe because it's chilly. It's not even that cold there yet.
No, but I think there's going to be bad weather again. Okay. There's like the cloud bubble, but not like the raindrops. It's like a gray cloud.
Okay.
So I think it's just going to be like, I don't know. I don't know what the weather is in Philly right now, but
okay. Let me just write my answer because
for the Chargers and Broncos
Monday
night game.
I know. Can we please get the Broncos out of primetime?
No more primetime games for the rest of the season and next year. We have had enough.
I'm over it.
Like, it's annoying. I went with the Chargers, obviously. The Chargers. Oh, word, Lee.
This is like the fourth primetime game.
Look at me saying obviously, and now I feel like because I said that I should put Judy in. Because now the Broncos might actually come to life and pass to him, and I got to reevaluate my life when it comes to my fantasy team. I feel like I should put Judy over Myers. But my whole thing, see, I lost my thought now. We were talking about the Broncos in the primetime game. Who picked them to be the one that gets on? Why couldn't it be the Eagles?
I think it just goes on last season, and then, of course, like, I think it was an exciting storyline that, like, Russell Wilson goes out to the Broncos, and, like, this could be, like, huge, you know, they could be so successful.
Why did they think that was going to be huge?
On our first episode, I thought they would go to the playoffs. I said, like, I thought the Broncos were going to be playoff contenders this season.
Did I say that?
Might have. You got a new coach. There's a lot going for them. Maybe Russell Wilson just cannot deal with the altitude.
But they're not always playing in Denver.
That is true.
Do you think that really affects that team? Like, because they're playing at a high altitude and then they have to travel to all these other... That's probably one of the most difficult cities to play for.
It is.
I never thought about that.
There's like a guy...
But they also probably have like really good endurance when they're playing in South Florida.
There's some guy too that I forget his name, but he has like an autoimmune, and like whenever he went out to like Denver, he couldn't play there because it like affected his autoimmune disease or something. And it was very dangerous.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting too.
Never really thought about geography and, well, we have talked about stuff like that before with climate, but, yeah, that's interesting. Honestly though, I say all that obvious stuff, but I would not be surprised if the Broncos finally have like a reckoning and just...
Yeah, I mean, there's gotta come a time, right? Where they just gotta, maybe
They've been playing so bad.
They're so bad. Even Russell Wilson, like... You know, we were, like, kind of shitting on Rodgers for not being accurate, but, like...
I think he's doing that on purpose. I think he's purposely throwing the ball where he wants to.
I've been saying that Rodgers doesn't look as accurate, but, like, then you see, like, Russell Wilson. He is not even, like, remotely close.
So keep Judy on the bench. We'll have to see if Myers is out.
Think about it. Yeah.
I have until Sunday morning.
I like Myers, but
I can also see how Antonio Gibson does today, and if he does really, really well, I'll take the risk with Myers.
There you go. That's a great.
Judy has not done a lot.
Plan of action.
Yeah. Okay, so now again, this is the following. So not this Thursday, but next Thursday, because we're not going to have an episode up until Friday. This is the Saints and the Cardinals. I know what I'm going to go with, but I'm, like, a little worried about this decision.
You're worried.
I mean, and then I got to present my parlay, but I'll do that after.
Yeah, we got to hurry.
The show.
Look at this time.
I know. Well, there was a lot to talk about.
Every week, our timing on our video
gets longer. There's more and more to talk about, though, I feel like.
There is.
It's not our fault.
No.
My advice to people watching this, and I should have said this earlier, is, like, when I rewatch our episodes, I do it at 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
And I just continue the video. I don't watch the whole thing. I mean, this is longer than... This is almost Lord of the Rings status now.
Exactly.
There's no way. I don't expect people to watch. And I think we should start putting, like, in our videos, this topic's, like, prediction starts at minute, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then if you guys don't really care about the filler stuff, you can always slide to our predictions. Predictions are my favorite part.
We're new to this YouTube thing, and eventually I'm going to learn how to edit things, and then I can put, like, little, like, clip arts in, like, predictions, so also we'll put the time where things start, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, eventually the goal is to move to also, I mean, we'll keep the YouTube channel, of course, but to move to podcast platform where that stuff won't really...
Right. McAfee's like 3 hours every day, and I listen to McAfee.
Yeah, I think like so.
Love it.
Yeah, to be
Can't get enough.
Yeah, to be a podcast, I think a lot of the podcasts I listen to are anywhere from an hour and a half, 2.5 hours usually. Some of them are 3 hours. And again, this is an episode. I mean, we didn't even go over injuries, but this was an episode that there was so much that happened, and so many really good games, and then so many snooze fests, and there was just so many close games. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing. But
no, but yes.
I also don't want to be boring.
We're not asking you to take 3 hours out of your life every week.
Yeah, I went with the Saints.
You went with the Saints. I went with the Cards.
So I had an issue with this but I could say it about both teams. Because I didn't pick either of them in this week's pick. So one of these,
that's interesting.
I'm assuming that one of these teams is going to lose 2 games in a row.
And that's what I was saying. Like, it's kind of cool.
I'm like, who is more likely to lose 2 games in a row?
Predict something where we don't even have this week to base it on.
Yeah.
So that's
I think that you're going to win that one. I think the Cardinals are going to end up winning.
All right, what's your proposition? I've been thinking for 3 hours. I'm trying to...
What do you think? Do you have any... What do you think it would be? It's a way for you to gain points. So there's not a lot of, and it has to do with picks.
If I get like a everything goes my way type situation? Like almost like a parlay? Like I have to get
Yeah, see, I'm using the word parlay just because I like how it sounds, but it's really not a parlay. It is just a proposition. So it's not that, but I think we should do something where if somebody gets like every prediction right,
you get like double the points.
No, let's not do that. That's scary. But like
or 10-point bonus.
Maybe like a 5-point bonus, or maybe you get immunity you get 1 immunity from wearing the punishment. Yeah. Okay. When we finally get that, that's what we could. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I gotta win this week because.
So my proposition to you, and you have 2 options, but you can only pick one. You can either choose any of your picks and say the score you think of the game, and if you get and if you get the score right, you get 10 points on top of your 1 point for the correct pick, unless you choose to say the opposite's going to win. Like, so if there's a game that you are not sure who's going to win, you could say the score and have the other team as the winner, but if that score does not happen, you lose a point.
Oh, don't like that.
So I would, if I was you, go with a team that you think is going to win, do the score, and then at least you're not 2 negatives. My other one, which might be a little bit easier or like more like logical to go, like easier to kind of get the right thing, is kind of doing like an over-under. It's only going to get you 5 points. But you can pick a number, and if one team scores under that and the other team scores over that, you get 5 points.
I like that one.
Okay, so like for example, like let's just say the Cowboys-Eagles game, you go with the number 23.
Okay.
So you're saying, and you don't have to say which team goes over and which team goes under. Wait, no, you do.
I have to.
You have to go with your win. So you're saying your winner of that, so you would say the Eagles are going to score over 23 points, and the the Cowboys are going to score. So the Eagles would have to score 24 or more, and the Cowboys, why do I keep going with the Giants? The Cowboys would have to score 22 or less.
Okay.
And again, if you don't get that, you lose a point.
I like risks.
Yeah, I know you do.
I
think everybody at this point knows
what you were doing when you were making this.
I was just driving somewhere.
You know I'm gonna fall for this.
Yeah.
You know who I am.
You don't have to, but if you get it, so if you go with the over-under, you get 5 points plus your win, so you would get 6 points total for that. You'd be at 48. And then whatever else you get for the rest of the week. And we had a few split-ups. You get to pick any game, too.
Okay. Well, I can't do that right now. It's too much pressure.
They need to know what you go with.
I feel like I need to think about this.
You have time. We'll cut out the time. You can cut out. I promise not to watch this episode until after Thursday or after we film Friday, and then you can show them like who you put for your pick, and we'll hide it somewhere, and then you'll reveal it on Friday. And then before we do your pick, I'll like say that again to them too. But yeah, go ahead and talk out your thoughts because
no, I'm not talking my thoughts.
What?
I'm keeping this a secret.
You don't have a few that you're like.
No, I could choose not to take this.
You don't have to.
But I like risk.
I told her I promised not to watch this video or at least till the end. until after Friday when we do our next episode.
Should I put my number on here?
Well, which game did you decide to go with?
The Broncos Chargers.
She's going with the Broncos Chargers
because I'm stoked.
And
but also sus.
I told her that if it was me, my most reliable game would have been the Bucks and the Steelers.
That was one of my choices.
Yeah, she had 3 that she thought
But I don't
about.
know why I feel so weird about that game. The Steelers.
I don't know why you keep feeling weird about the Steelers.
I don't know. You're right, I do. I feel like I'm like, they're okay, but they're just not.
Yeah. But, so I told her I would go with the Bucks Steelers, and I would probably throw a number out there like 15. Is what I would do. But she decided to go with the Broncos and the Chargers. And I don't know what your number is. I'm not going to look.
Can I go right now?
Yeah, I'm going to close my eyes. But I'm going to say that if I had to guess... But also, remember, Christine, so the Chargers have to have the higher number.
I know.
That's who you went with in your pick. But I would say, just like from knowing you, you're going to go with the number 11.
Okay.
Or 12 for
I'm
Aaron
going to show
Rodgers.
the camera right now.
Go ahead and show the camera, and then let me know when I can look again.
Okay, you can look again.
Fold, hide your piece of paper, fold it, maybe put it in this drawer here.
Oh, hold. Okay. Got it. Here you go. Don't let me forget that I put it in there.
I won't.
Okay, you're good. You can look.
All right.
We'll see what happens next week.
Yeah, I'm excited to see like what number you want.
Of course I took this bait.
Yeah.
You know me too well.
You're either going to gain 6 points or you're going to lose a point, which it's not a huge...
That's not a huge thing. I feel like losing the 6 points would be more fun.
Do you want me to change the rules?
Yes.
Okay, so if you don't get this right, you're going to lose 6 points.
Okay.
I'm doing this for you to catch up.
I want to play the game.
Okay. So if we change the rules again, if Christine's number is not the magic number and the game is not the magic game, she will lose 6 points. You'll lose 5 points. And if the Chargers don't win. Because you could still get the number wrong, but still get your point.
Right. For the matchup.
Right.
Got it. That's probably likely. All right, 5 points.
Wait, no. You would lose 5 points, but still get... Okay,
yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, deal.
Okay,
all right,
well,
guys.
I think that's everything.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, don't forget to put in your questions if you have any questions that you want to know about me more.
I'll put that in the description to remind everybody, too.
Yeah, and we'll be posting that throughout the week on our Instagram, and she'll just be collecting those. And then we also won't be back until next Friday.
Yep. Got a busy work week ahead.
We do, yeah, both of us.
Cool.
I'm excited. Good luck, everybody, with your picks.
Bye,
Good luck
guys.
with your
Theo says
fantasies. I hope the Eagles beat the Cowboys. I hope the Packers beat the Jets.
Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. Theo says go, Pack, go.
Eagles.